Can everybody please give me a pronunciation for your names, your in-character names, just to make sure that I've got it
Well, it's
right.
even in the bio.
I
Narlug.
know. Okay, Narlug, I figured I could get, and it would be Ralmir. Yes, I see, but
Yep.
it's Ayakobachi, not
Got it.
Iyako. It's
I
Ayako.
like an eyeball. Akko,
Okay,
Bachi.
gotcha. I will try to get that right. And actually, to that note, can you guys change your display names in Roll20, please, so that I don't have to keep tabbing back over to Discord until I learn them, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, how do you do that? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, it's in the
It's either just in settings.
personalized display.
Personalize. Yep. And then we can just change this to, since I'm asking you all to change.
Cut off.
You could
We're on a
also,
first name basis with Roll20.
fair enough. And because yours is not in the backstory posts, it's Irvir. How would you
Could
like
be
it?
both. I
Okay,
was thinking Irvir.
Irvir. All right. I could see it go either way, depending on where that's supposed to be from. Speaking of which, I found a world map that shows where you're from. You've
Thank
come a
fucking
long
God.
way, my friend. You are from literally the opposite coast of the only
What?
continent. So,
Is there only one
you
continent in Forgotten Realms? I was so fucking
one
confused trying
real
to read
continent,
everything.
yes. It gets confusing because there is a ocean in the middle of it. And so the Sea of Stars is not a divider. It is basically the continent is a big ring shape, and there's a number of like large protrusions and islands, but it's one continent in Faerun. But yes, so Ormir is very, 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 very far to the east. So, anywho, yeah. I think we are about good. Give me 1 second. So, I think I can cover this in backstory, but I would like to confirm, Ayakobachi, are you okay with people knowing that you are on this task that you're on, or is that something you're hiding?
I'm not hiding it. I'll tell him
Okay.
eventually. But you can tell him about the backstory. It's fine.
So, I think if we're all ready to start, I'm good. I don't know if anybody else has anything they'd like to sort out before we get rolling.
No, I'm good.
Where the fuck y'all find your
That
character?
sure is my first.
They'd like to sort out. Here, Mike, I've already got it for you.
Obviously AI,
No,
but
Yep, I just stole somebody's picture and then changed the color palette and called it my own.
Hang on, let me find it.
I googled.
I literally grabbed one for you earlier, Mike.
no, did you? I did some I put in like actual hours into looking. I was like, there is nothing that fits what I have in my mind, not even close, because I'm too mundane in my brain.
Oh, fair. This has like kind of elaborate armor, but it does have the mask.
Hit me with it.
It's technically art of him, but it is
Oh,
more well, it's more toned down than it usually would be. I see lots of like actual skulls. It is not that.
him, capital H.
Well, yeah, him,
He's him.
here.
He is him though.
And if you want it as a token, I can do that in 10 seconds.
That is just the Nightingale armor.
Yeah. Well, well, at least it was listed as Kellenfor. So I don't know the Nightingale armor, but if that bothers you, then we cannot use it.
No, I actually don't think I would have the full mask or anything either.
Oh,
Because
I thought
as
you
far as
wanted
I
it.
could, I think I went with the circlet. I'm not going to run the domino mask because I think the circlet still denotes a part of clergy, but I think the domino mask is like strictly for Doom guides.
Fair enough.
But I'm
I thought that
not
was what you were
100%
working towards.
positive. Yeah, they get a really cool one when you're a big guy Doom guy, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna go eliminate some shit. All right, take this, bro."
You've been promoted
Fair
to
enough.
Doom Guy.
Well, yeah, we'll see how he feels if he survives Barovia.
There you go.
If
All
maybe
right. Well,
a change in direction.
Change of heart.
Hang on. I'm
Not so
building
much,
a
but like, you know
token.
what? I want to join that other part of the company. You know, I'm gonna do that now.
Trying to get on the other side. I'm trying to get on the sales department.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm sick of all this customer facing shit. I gotta
Bullshit.
go.
Order tint, silver, that seems on brand. Download, show in folder. How's that?
That's good enough for a token for me.
For now, at least.
I had token that I put in. It was just the symbol.
Yes, it is already in use on a map I have ready for you guys later, but I can replace that if you would like to change your art. So just let me know.
Saved a couple character art. But I was like, I don't. At least there's no like
regardless,
defining features in the token, so yeah, that'll be fine. to
that's
use
I
for now.
figured it was. You could imagine that there's a domino mask there if you want. You can imagine there isn't. It's got the holy symbol on nondescript robes in the color of your deity, and the face isn't super easy to. So.
Right?
You are cardboard cutout Kellamvor man until you find something you.
Perfect.
I got a good imagination. I could think of a domino mask.
Like I said, no domino mask for now.
Yeah. Anyhow, I won't bore any of you with details of the world of Faerun. You've all played in it.
Ah.
Except Mike. Just kidding. You have. You're familiar.
Well.
It's not relevant to our particular tale. You see, for while dragons are slain in far reaches of the lands, and, well, gods are occasionally struck low, that's not exactly the job of adventurers of your current station. You all find yourselves fairly early in your careers, uh, drawn for different reasons and in different methods towards the Sword Coast. Some of you may be chasing, well, the shattered remnants of what once were your fairly simple lives at home. Some of you chasing knowledge lost to time. But for whatever reason, each of you has been drawn along a set path that is on, well, unfortunately, an intersect with a bit of a disaster. But not today. Today, well, it's fairly pleasant. The harvest draws near, and if anything, it's a little bit too warm. Winding your ways along the old and beaten high road that runs between Waterdeep and Neverwinter, you've all either journeyed solo or found companions, and I will give the option. A little caravan passes you first on the road, Ayakobachi. The three members that occupy it at this moment, two fairly nondescript in feature, though not of clothing, human men, and a very elderly half man. They're dressed in this like vibrant, bright garb that you probably haven't really seen anything like. It's loose and kind of flows with the air, good for summer. But more than anything, it's the fact that they're almost like Harlequin colors. You know, you've got red and yellow and blue and purple, and everything just pops. It's all like lively and vibrant. Lots of jewelry adorning their hair and beards. And despite this sort of merry appearance, they kind of eye you as you're walking along the road, following the trail of this, well, rather confusing creature that turned your life upside down. And their wagon, pulled by a single, rather, well, bedraggled looking horse, does slow as they come up behind you. One of them, sitting next to the driver, has a crossbow kind of cocked at his side, not leveled at you, but warily. And he asks in only the most bare approximation of common, northward bound? Asking if you're heading north along the road, which you seem to be.
Nakobachi is gonna, politely lower his purple sash, his hood, and just simply say good evening, gentlemen. Kind of nod his head and just simply reply without a whole lot of detail. Yes, I am heading north.
The other one, whose accent is a little bit less thick. You carry a bow. You must have good eyes, yes?
You know, they're fairly accurate.
We give you a ride if you watch for bad things coming behind.
Hmm. Who am I to deny a hunt his prey, or your prey his hunt? Hmm. You know,
And you
walking
can see, like, clearly on their face, they don't follow. Like, they kind of
confused.
speak the language, but they seem to, like, have mildly pleasant smiles and hopeful expressions.
As proudful as Akabachi is, he looks at his feet and his shoes are a little torn up and his toes hurt, and as much of his pride wants him to keep on and maybe whatever wants to get these guys gets them, he thinks it's in his best interest to take the cart.
Very well. So the back has kind of like basically a tailgate that's down, and the halfling is kind of like lounging, on his back, cross behind his head, and he looks at you a little like, sup, nod, and he sits up and kind of inches over to the side. He doesn't take up very much of the seat. Halflings are tiny.
Hmm.
And kind of leans against the edge and gestures for you to take a seat.
Yeah, and I'll climb up and I'll kind of like just kind of look around and make sure there's this isn't some type of ambush, and then I'll slowly climb onto the seat
Sure.
and take out my bow and just get an arrow knocked and kind of ready, not having it pulled back, but just in
Yeah,
the
but just
prepared,
resting, ready to go, kind of on your
prepared.
lap.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking around carefully, and this is what I suppose I should ask: are you making an active perception?
I'll go passive. I'll just passively be walk looking around and just
Sure.
kind of listening, watching.
Fair enough. The cart behind you is kind of a covered wagon. It's piled just full of boxes of stuff. Nothing's really open and easy to determine what might be in it, but lots of large crates and bags and kind of everything. And it's not exactly like there hasn't been a drape pulled over it or anything, but you get the idea. They're carrying some sort of mercantile goods, but don't really necessarily elaborate or, have no interest in doing so. But they nod to you and just offer a simple thank you. And the horse, with a little and click of the reins, will travel off down the road.
Cool. Do they have some
You
type of torch or anything, or they have? Because can they
nothing
see?
right now, but it's the
Okay.
middle of the day.
Oh,
So,
there you go. The
um,
sun's the torch. I got you.
yes, the sun is the torch. There's a very large torch in the sky. But yeah, like I said, it's been hot, so it is quite nice to be off your feet for a while. And after actually probably not all that long, the halfling kind of fiddles into a little belt pouch, and for him it's very large, but for you a normal-sized silver flask, lots of complicated inlay. And he whispers something to it and pulls the cork off and holds it out to you. Water.
I appreciate the offer, but can I tell what he whispered?
You get like a sense. You've come across magic before. You've got a bit yourself. You think it was probably an activation word
Okay.
for a magic item,
Okay.
and this is not an uncommon one. Would you consider yourself reasonably well traveled?
In the forest, not amongst people.
Fair enough.
So, not the most trusting a
Seeing
person.
your, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Okay. Not the most trusting a person. Aikobachi is gonna, say thank you or just nod politely or every way the guy can communicate. He said
Hmm.
sup, so I'm assuming he knows slang, and I'll just nod him politely and just hold up my water sack,
Ah,
and you know,
and makes it very clear. Oh, no offense, no offense. Kind of, and he'll drink from it, and you can see it's seems to be water as he kind of like dumps a little bit on his head to help moisten, let it evaporate, cool him down.
nice.
And he mutters again to it and screws the top back on, sticks it into his pocket. The caravan continues along the road, and, well, you're watching the rear, but I assume periodically kind of leaning around to see what's coming up front. And here, you reach a fairly simple little, well, settlement might be a bit of an exaggeration, but it is maybe a moving encampment would be a better term. Um, you notice that very quickly, this is not too mixed of a settlement, I wouldn't think. but there's a lot of people of orcish persuasion here. And among them, if you don't mind me, you would see one that probably stands out from the bunch, dressed in what you would consider more elaborate robes than typical for an orc out and about along the road. The traveling sort seem to be a little bit more rough and tumble, but this guy looks a little bit more scholarly. Sort of hustling to and fro, seemingly making preparations to leave, actually. Kind of on the outskirts of the encampment, which has movable barricades and whatnot that have been plonked down to sort of wall it off. But the folk that are with you, they actually slow the horse and talk excitedly amongst themselves in a language that I don't know if you'd recognize. Again, it's a spin-off from Common. Has kind of like a lilting, almost song-like vibe to it. And they're excitedly pointing and gesturing, and one of them will hop down, not with the whole wagon advancing, not the gentleman with the crossbow, and will actually sort of hands up, kind of approach the front of the settlement and call out within earshot of you, Narlug. Uh, well met. Uh, items for trade?
Narlug's gonna walk over and he's gonna be like, well, you know, we've been sent to go look for items ourselves to trade for. As you can see, we're not much of a settlement ourselves. We don't really have much. We got these orcs are brutish. They got some human heads if you're interested in those.
You see him kind of and he thinks, heads no, skulls maybe.
Oh well, I could probably convince them to skin them for you, free of charge, of course.
Hmm.
I'll get you a couple skulls. I'll tell you what, I'll get you a couple skulls. I'm actually the guys are kind of kicking me out. They want me to go find a local tavern. You guys just so happen to be going somewhere that would have a tavern or maybe a brothel?
He knows that word for sure, and he kind of chuckles. Yes, maybe tonight, maybe next night. But and he
Great.
points north
And
along the
Narlug's
road.
not even gonna hesitate. Just run around, go collect a couple human heads, go to his buddy Big Chuck,
Someone
be
do
like,
a
here,
quick
take care
field
of this
job.
real quick. And he comes back with 3 skulls for you.
And this guy is just like, you see him shoot a couple looks back at the caravan, and again, Ayakuba peeking around the side, just like he's like, and seeing you just like literally sprint off. You didn't ask for anything in return. You asked for, I guess, directions. But yeah, a few minutes go by as you find somebody with a quick flensing knife and a pot to clean these skulls, I guess. And he, without any hesitation, actually, which is, I mean, he's not like, yes, but he just like takes it and kind of like studies it as though one were like appraising an artifact, He kind of goes, still has teeth. This is good.
Yes, teeth
He
very
has
good. Since the teeth were in there, you guys think maybe I could hitch a ride with you?
transport as trade?
Yes.
Or, yes. Maybe tight. He said, like, gesturing to the wagon, and you see 2 heads sticking around the back, 1 guy up front. There's not a lot of room, but you could absolutely ride along with them.
The one guy's small. He can sit on my lap.
And again, he like doesn't quite follow, but he just smiles and laughs and goes, "Come, come." And
Narlug
he will literally just
walks around
take the
back,
skulls
pops
and
up,
yeah.
doesn't even ask to have him, just picks him up, puts him on his lap.
There's like a moment of like picking up a child that doesn't want to be picked up, just like yeah, and then he just kind of goes, man, and just hops, kind of flops, and pulls out a pipe, just like, kind of again gives you a little wave. Ayakobachi, he has not said a single word all day. This old guy, little, crotchety halfling. He just kind of, other than sup and water, that's about it. No idle conversation. And yeah, they just kind of, again, you said these orcs are a little bit kind of give the village a little bit wider of a berth. And I think by the sound of what you described there, the faces kind of watching you go are just kind of like, like good to be rid of him rather than, oh, we'll miss you, buddy. That's the vibe
Right.
I'm getting there.
You better not come back a virgin.
He's off on his Rumspringa. But yes, you continue down the road. And actually, you will reach that tavern tonight. But for now, I think we're going to cut there to somebody who has already arrived. Romir, you have found yourself, after, well, a number of complicated stops along this complicated road that is life, in what is technically a tavern. It's not exactly the largest establishment, but it's warm, but less warm than outside, and dry, which is good, and the drinks seem to be pretty cheap. Not to mention the fact that none of the other patrons here seem like sharp city folk. Pretty easy to talk to, pretty easy to talk around. This place is called the Broken Spoke Tavern, and again is along the high road. You're probably only a day or so travel south of, pardon me while I remember the place name. Uh, sorry about that. Probably only a day or so south of the actual Atland Outpost, which is in the Misty Forest. It's about halfway between Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate. And yeah, you've kind of rolled into town. There's a very nice half-elven bartender here. She's super smiley, super bubbly, super easy to talk to. People just seem to call her Bev. She never introduced herself to you, but everybody says, "Oh, thanks, Bev." "Oh, another round, Bev." That kind of thing. Talking to her, very smiley. Just when you walked in, welcome to the Broken Spoke. Can't say we've got particularly fancy rooms to offer, but there are a few wagons out back that have been left and gussied up. Ale's good, ale's cold, and food's cheap. Welcome. And kind of just gestures to the room. And as you look around, there's like nobody else in here right now. There's a rather handsome human gentleman with kind of like curly hair who is literally just asleep in an armchair, and there's a kobold wearing literally no clothing, sitting at a table just sipping on a mug that is like massively big for him, but that's a human mug. And he's just, looks up at you as you come in, kind of shrugs and goes back to his drink.
Yeah.
I can show you a map if you'd like, because that's where everybody will meet you. We're gonna have to ignore one or two things, though. Let me clean up. Nope, wrong layer. I hate this new layout for all this stuff. You go to GM layer.
Yeah, they
token
updated
layer.
it. They updated it like a couple months ago.
Yeah, the UI is very different, and
It's
I
way
haven't seen all
different.
the new GM stuff. Very weird. And Mike, did you change your token?
It should be changed.
Okay, I can just axe your old one and we'll fix
I
that.
also don't see I uploaded character too. I need to update over my little profile.
Let me double check.
I don't know.
I see it. I see the picture.
You may have to reconnect for that. Actually, let me just try reconnecting to all. I do see it. Oh, hey, yes, I like that. I see it in your character sheet, so it's in there correctly.
Yeah,
just
I
may
saw
need
it there.
So,
yeah, didn't update for me. I don't know.
here we are. Let's just move the players here. I believe that works. Again, little teeny tiny place right off the high road. And you've kind of come in the front door. Again, gentleman asleep in an armchair, and the woman behind the bar. And if you want a better look at the portraits, I can do that for you for a second.
You can hit Control Z too.
Oh, can you? Let's see if I make them normal. Oh, so you can.
Well, yeah, it like shows it to everybody. It's pretty sick.
But yeah,
Okay, so I'm just gonna. Oh, can I not move my token?
you should be able to. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to. Here, how about this? Drag yourself onto the map from your journal, and we'll see if that fixes it.
Is that just part of my character sheet?
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
go,
yeah. Literally where your character sheet is, like in your journal. If you just click
Oh.
on it and drag onto the map, it pulls your token. Sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
I did not know that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I assumed. My mistake.
Okay. No, all good.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna just like walk over to the bar, just introduce myself.
Mhm.
So I'm Ralmir, and yep. Can I get your name?
Oh, well, technically it's Beverly, but everybody just calls me Bev.
Okay. I've been traveling for quite a while, though. I was wondering if you would possibly be able to get me if you would be able to, if I would be able to get some food, though, just so. But I don't really have a lot of money, though, so if there's anything I can do to help you out, that would be great. And
She
then
smiles, kind of.
do a persuasion roll.
Oh, very nice. She smiles kind of knowingly, and especially with the good persuasion roll like that. No worries, no worries. Between you and me, being a stop off on a high road like this, we get lots of folks that can't necessarily, well, spend for a drink and a meal, but there's always stuff to be done. If you don't mind a bit of work, be it hands on, the stables can always use mucking. They're not all that dirty. Only got one horse in at the moment. Um, you'll find a pitchfork outside, and while you're doing that, I'll make you up a drink and finish off that stew that Dad, she calls loudly, and the guy who's asleep in the armchair kind of goes, oh, is supposed to be finishing right now. And he kind of, oh, right, leans forward and like goes back to tending the stove that's in front of him there. And if that's not really to your liking, are you much of an artist?
What did you have in mind?
Oh, just a bit of simple painting and stuff that needs to be done. Not portraiture. We're not that sort of rich establishment, but the eaves could use another coat.
Um, sure, I could do that.
Right. And she'll actually just like literally, you can see this place is cramped. There's not a lot of storage. There's shelves all over the edge of the room. She will take like a few steps up and around the bar and we'll just kind of like check over on the kobold. One more, love? And he kind of, and she goes, right, and winks at him. And she'll reach up onto this top shelf here and clatter like clay pot with a well-sealed lid and there it is, and a brush. And we'll walk back over to you. Honestly, it's more of a token thing than anything. Don't trouble yourself too much, but bit of blue where it should be. And she winks at you, and we'll kind of step back around the bar. Start pouring another ale for the kobold.
Yeah, I guess I could do I just do like the little bit of touch ups though, just to
Yeah.
help her out.
Just enough to count, I assume.
Yeah.
Not to pigeonhole you, but and it seems like that's all she wants anyway. You asked nicely, you were honest. Seems to have gone a long way with her. It takes you maybe 10 minutes to just kind of, get the bottom bits where you can reach, and she didn't give you anything, so you're not going to climb all the way there just by yourself. But yeah, get some more paint on there. Manage not to like make too much of a mess. There's a drip or two, but it's all sand and dirt, whatever. Kind of scuff of the boot and cover that up. And by the time you come back in, she's got, a fresh mug of ale, and she's got a little simple clay bowl. Seems to be some sort of like, you smell not exactly fancy, but reasonably good smelling like beef stew. Maybe it's lamb. Hard to tell. A couple of potatoes and carrots and stuff in there, and like kind of just like a grab and tear end of a loaf of bread to go along with it. Um, and she just not exactly crowded tables right now, so take your pick. You can see she just kind of, you know, watches you as you head over to the corner and grab a just smiles and puts the paint actually under the bar, and then she'll like you see her go bother her dad in the corner. If you've got kind of an afternoon to kill, is there anything in particular you'd be up to?
Really had in mind.
Fair enough. The life of an adventurer on the road, just kicking your boots up on the table, watching the hours fly by, right? But after only about two or so, I think we'd find another visitor to this tavern. Ervir, it has been a schlep getting here. You are on a mission to aid in that particular funerary request you'd received. And there is a little voice, I think, maybe in the back of your head that's starting to wonder if this was picked to just kind of get you out into the world. You've lived kind of a, by the sound of it, cloistered existence to this point. Not exactly shut up entirely in the temple or anything, but it's time, well, kind of like Narlug, for you to see the world, right? Um, but man, again, that summer heat, and your boots are dusty, your feet are tired, and while that may not necessarily shake a man of your faith, the flesh still does eventually need a. And right as you're about to debate just, you know, there's a nice clearing over there, I could just go have a sit, you round one more bend, and you also find this small tavern. I think you would actually be heading south. So you're coming from the opposite direction. But, well, it is a place out of the sun. And from the outside, again, bright, cheery, unassuming. There is a sign that reads The Broken Spoke hanging from the front of the building, and you can see a number of wagons that all have like brightly colored paint jobs and whatnot, with no horses hitched to them, and well, one or more broken wheels kind of piled off to the left of where this map is that they loan out as rooms for the night. Couldn't hurt to stop in for a drink, right?
My feet hurt. The sun's too loud. We're gonna take a break.
Fair enough. Uh, Same sort of thing. Go ahead and drag yourself onto the map because I think it's going to be how we do it so that we don't break whatever the problem was.
Like this? Hell
There you
yeah.
go.
All right. Well,
It's probably
all
about
these
3 o'clock in the
tools.
afternoon by now.
Oh, oh, those will be used
Oh?
to track bless. Wait, I don't know what these are for.
Oh, all the markers?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
clicked on my
buff,
token.
debuff.
It's like here are a lot of circles. Oh,
Hmm. Yeah,
um,
I use them for conditions and stuff. And you can go ahead, both
oh,
of you
this is
too.
the door. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Little stairs outside.
So Ervir will approach the door pretty nonchalantly.
Hmm.
Definitely a little bit of a pant, a little bit of a weariness to his general posture. But in will walk a young man of about average height, average build, really nothing to write home about. But it is a little odd how he's wearing like overly, uh, not baggy, but definitely like a very loose tunic over his very obviously scale mail that's still going to peek out from the arms and the legs and everything.
Sure.
Um, and the tunic itself just a very drab gray. Same with his pants. The boots are really nothing to write home about there either. Although he might be in the market for a new pair at this point, because I was like, he might have been on the road for a while now,
Probably
like a
months.
year.
Yeah.
um,
Um.
and with a green cloak, um, draped around his shoulders and back, and behind that, like the hilt of a sword sticking up from between the cloak and the uh I guess tunic slash
Yeah.
scale mail. But it's
Yeah.
very obvious
So you're
that
not
there
trying
is
to
a
hide
weapon.
it.
It's
Okay.
purposely concealed. It's more like less eye grabbing.
Fair enough. More of a.
And of course,
Go ahead.
just
No.
was going to add that a silver appearing circlet around his forehead and a very blatantly displayed pendant of Kelmvor's holy symbol with these scales embossed with what appears to be iron,
Okay.
very prominently displayed across his chest, and a shield with the same, except that's
Fair
more
enough.
like yellow, bronze-ish, not so much. The rankings aren't on the shield. That's gonna get damaged. We don't pay the money for the big shield.
Of course. Anything that is designed to get smacked by the enemy, probably a little bit simpler. Yes. But yeah, Bev looks up as you walk in, and you can see there's a moment where like she smiles, but the eyes kind of track over you, trying to just let's bring a weapon and a shield. Um, I think she would sort of give you just a once over to make sure that you're not coming in with like a hostile posture. But she'll smile and wave you in. Welcome to the Broken Spoke. Cold drinks and hot food for a weary traveler such as yourself.
Weary doesn't begin to tell the story, and he'll immediately just start sauntering over. A quick glance around the room, but eyes not particularly caught in any particular direction as he
Sure.
approaches Bev. Are these stools? These look like
Yes,
stools.
they're like cramped stools along one side
Yeah,
of the bar. Yeah.
So I guess he'll probably have like a travel pack too, right? Probably set that off onto the floor next to him and immediately sit down. Yeah. Been on the road for quite a bit now, and I didn't think I was gonna see anything for a while, but just as I was thinking of giving up for the day, what do I behold but your establishment here?
Common tale. And she just kind of smiles. And like as you're telling this kind of like, oh, she is offering you a drink. Just kind of sets it on the bar. Um.
Before you go on, Zach, is he breaking up for anyone else?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I am. My internet's a little bit spotty for some reason today. Is it any better now?
It's good
Are
now,
you
but
okay?
it's been points where it's like I can fill in the blanks, and I'm also watching your
Yeah.
face, so it
Oh,
helps too.
please don't hesitate to ask me to repeat myself. I'm sorry if that's the case.
Wait, watching his face? Where the
Yeah.
My webcam is
If you
on.
go
You
to
have
the
to
Yeah, you
click
call,
turn on the
join
webcam.
voice and video.
you can see all our faces.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? We're all here. Where are you at?
Well.
I don't know how that's how that work. Hold on.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
Frank's
you
close
just
enough.
Yeah.
mute your audio in there. But yeah, if you join voice and video, and you might have to, I guess with the new beta, it reset people's settings. So you might have to go to the audio and video tab of the settings, which is the gear in the top right. And click others can, or I can hear or see both. And others can hear or see whichever you'd prefer. But we're not going to use Roll20 audio.
Yeah. Reconnect. I don't.
Yeah, there's a little like reload in your portrait, so you don't have to reload all of Roll20 as well.
There we go. Maybe that worked. Looks like it's trying to do something.
Looks
Oh,
like,
there's
yeah.
everybody. Oh shit.
There you go. Uh, so I apologize. What I think I was saying was, as you're telling this story to her about, like, you're worn out from a long day and, you were just about to give in, she says, it's funny how often we hear that. But in the middle of you saying this, she's literally already, like, prepared a drink for you. Um,
What did she prepare?
just your typical ale. People don't really drink water unless it's from a magical source due to the risk of, illness. But this is like a watered down kind of, not to get you drunk, more to just slake your thirst kind of thing.
Oh, that
Um,
that does remind me. What did the water situation look like at the well when I walked past it?
oh, it seems clean enough. It's certainly clean enough to,
Fill a water skin.
be good for a water skin or for horses. Yeah. You might want to boil it, but that's just
Yeah.
good common practice, But yeah, it's a drinking well. It didn't look like particularly old or gross.
Perfect. Take the drink with a smile and nod, and ask her how much for room and board for the night.
Well, room and board. It's all sort of a little bit flexible if you're willing to do a bit of work. Very cheap. If you just need a place to all we're looking at is 1 silver for the night. That comes with the evening meal and 2 drinks of your choice. That's like really cheap for the record.
I was gonna say, but which is weird because like yeah, we're in this rundown tavern, I guess, but at the same time, it's like this is the last chance saloon,
Uh,
maybe.
maybe. They're kind of dotted all along the road every day or 2 or 3. Go ahead. Actually, Rolmir, you're in this scene as well. You're listening in. You can both make insight checks if you'd like.
Cool.
Low DC for the record. Insight blank or blank. Oh, there it goes. 19. Damn. Damn. I forgot. You're both wisdom characters to an extent. Or at least Rogue is just good at that. So you both clock immediately. Like, she's very, very smiley. Again, Dad is pretty chill. He's fallen asleep again by the stove. You get the vibe that, like, they're not in this for money at all. Like, maybe they came upon this building and have just kind of settled here and they entertain they can. They probably more swap again, like she asked Rolmir, you saw this, both of you maybe to help out. It's more of like a trade of labor or goods for a place here, which is probably how they feed the next people that come through. Um, Not so much charity, but more just like no aspirations of being wealthy. Just 2 people that seem to be pretty comfortable where they are, if that makes any sense. Thus the very low price. Just enough to cover what they're feeding you and serving you to drink. Which Rolmir, yeah, maybe, and actually both of you, server's higher, although I don't know if this would be on your mind. There's probably some family money somewhere, because they've got to buy things occasionally, right? Dad is wearing kind of nice jewelry. There's some gold there. The earrings, at least. But no need to decide whether or not you need a room, and what price. For now, I can tell you need to catch a breather. And as she's kind of wrapping up with you, you start to hear the clop of hooves on the road as Ayakobachi and Narlug, you and your 3 traveling companions, are beginning to pull up from the south. It's actually the wagon that's parked there. I was expecting to kind of cut into this with you all here, but I'm winging it. So, go ahead and take your drink, Ervira, and sit wherever you'd like. But she can you can hear her, see her, hear that. And as she cocks her head, you can clearly see, again, half elven ancestry. She has a slight point to her ears. But so far, no sign of a mom. Um, but yeah, Rolmir, do you want to give a little bit of a description? You don't have to go like super in depth, but if it kind of matches the portrait, that's fine. But how are you observing this new person walking in? That being Ervir. The kobold has fallen asleep in his cup.
Oh my god, is he gonna drown?
No, no, no. He seems to have finished the second ale. Like again, this thing is like just under 3 feet tall, probably 35 pounds soaking. He's now put away 18-ounce ale. He's looking a little bloated and very sleepy, and is literally just like on the edge of.
My observation of him though, it just seems like he's just been through the ringer basically.
Yeah, fair enough. So not like nothing too in depth or anything, but I just
No,
figured,
like
I'd check if
yeah,
you're
like
wary of new folk or
no,
not.
nothing suspicious
Mhm.
or
How much
anything like
money
that.
does this idiot have?
Not all rogues are only thinking about the pockets. Um, but you described kind of baggy clothing. Just to check, Irvir, you're still like built solid to swing that sword and lift that shield. You're not like stick thin or anything under all of that. Just checking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do got a -1 strength, but hey, no one says you can't be 400 pounds of pure muscle and still only have 10.
You only worked on the glamour muscles, you know.
While you
Mind.
were out in the field practicing the sword, I was out in the cloister sharpening my mind. We are not the same.
Keep in mind that an 8 is average. That's just like a normal guy,
Yeah.
But so stout, but not like
He can
you're
swing
not
the
ripped.
sword, but he doesn't look like he's cutting a tree in half with it or anything.
Fair enough. So Aokabachi and Narlug, as you guys are pulling up, again, you see this little quaint building with a stable out back. Off to the side, and the gentleman out front. They still have not given you names, by the way, nor have they really spoken to you. Just, sure you can come with, and then they've kind of left you be. Um, they pull the horse to a stop, don't put it in the stable. They simply hammer in a stake to the ground and like tie off the lead to it. They put little like chucks under the wheels of the wagon so it doesn't, roll away. And they kind of gesture to the two of you. Food and drink. We stop here for evening.
I'll look around to make sure it's a decently safe place. Doesn't think there's any threats around, and I'll jump off the wagon, stash my bow.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, like there's a tree or two or three, but this is like a clearing in the road. That it's like probably 150 to 200 feet to the tree line. There's obvious signs as regular travel through here. This is seemingly, a pretty calm spot. And it is well known, I should point out, that while banditry and ambushes happen along the high road, this is also occasionally patrolled, like every day or two, by roving groups of the actual Imperial Guard. So the chances are a building like this is not going to get attacked. You're
Gotcha.
probably fine.
I'm gonna go to Narlug and I'm gonna look at him and just say, "Hello, acquaintance of nice to be of your acquaintance. I am Akobachi Bael Dorson, and I heard you say something about human heads earlier."
Well, hello, friend. Don't look like an angry orc. Yeah, I come from a pretty angry clan. They're not the friendliest people. You seem a lot friendlier than them, so well acquainted. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
And
you.
yeah, those skulls were my trade to get onto this wagon.
It's hard to find a good human head connection around here.
Oh well, I could get you plenty of those if that's what you're looking for.
Well, great bait for bigger game. Yeah, we'll talk inside. Let's. Are you hungry?
Oh, I'm starving. I'm famished.
Oh,
How did I not? Where did I put that? Whoop! I fell out of D20. 1 second.
I came from a traveling band, and they don't like to share.
that's fair. I'm not used to sharing either, but I've learned that being out on your own is a lot harder. So I've learned to change my ways, try to do things differently.
Well, good on you.
Individually, the wolf, many weaknesses, but in the pack, where it thrives. Enough about wolves, though.
This man loves a wolf.
Don't get me started on wolves. I'll be talking your ear off all night.
I love it. Sorry, I lost a token that I'm looking for.
And by the way,
Just a moment.
I think it was Shift Z and not. I think Control Z is like undo, and Shift Z is like
Yes,
highlight.
it is. Let's try Shift Z.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Damn.
Super
Oh,
cool.
jump
It like
scare.
lets you get a it's a
Jump
zoom in,
scare.
right?
That's Bev, by the way.
Hey Bev.
Please work roll 20. There we go. There is the more handsome gentleman. Yeah, the three folks who've been traveling just kind of head on and up into the building. And Bev gives them sort of the same, like, oh, welcome to the Broken Spoke. I'm gesturing despite not being in voice and video. Welcome to the Broken Spoke. And they just kind of, give her like a 1 minute kind of gesture, and they will go just completely, again, not too rude, but kind of terse with her. Go claim a spot in the corner, and talk amongst themselves in this kind of odd lilting common. And oh, busy day. Welcome.
Hello.
And she's like a little bit flustered, given that they just kind of like totally no-sold her welcoming them in. Welcome to the Broken Spoke. Sorry, cold drinks, hot food. You know how it is. What can I do for you?
I'm hungry and thirsty. You mind if I have a seat?
No, not at all. Those are problems we can solve. Um, and yeah, just kind of
Darling's
hearing
gonna take
hungry and
the table over
thirsty.
here.
Really, the one with 4 seats with 4 adventurers. This man understands what I built. But yeah, she's like, hearing, I need food and drink. She's like grabbing a bowl already, and pulling down another mug. I catch she kind of hums to herself, although she stops to throw a wooden spoon at her dad, who jolts awake again and realizes he's lightly burning something on the stove and kind of goes to fix it. But he actually stands up now properly and like, okay, seems to be like, all right, evening dinner rush. Let's pay some attention. Oh wow, it is a busy evening. She, welcome in. And kind of looks between the two of you, trying to decide if you're traveling together or not. There's not like a window she can see out front from where she's been. But welcome to the Broken Spoke. Cold drinks, hot food.
Thank you. And I'll go and join.
Okay. Right. And yeah. Are you still sitting at the counter, Irvir?
Yeah, I got a stool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I already sat down. I'm here
you're
now.
parked. Fair enough. And yeah, so she will busy herself with prepping food for Narlug, and just kind of assume that Ayokobachi is going to want food as well. Although, who knows? No need to be forced to take it. But she'll bring those 2 bowls over for you, and also we'll go back and grab mugs of ale, set them down for you as well. Were you two traveling with those fellows over in the corner?
Yes, but they don't talk much, so they're not much for conversation.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh,
Just kind of hitched a ride with them.
try not to take it too, or I will try not to take it too personally then. Ugh. Um, hopefully you haven't had too rough of a day. I know it's awfully hot.
It was very
Um,
hot.
but
The top of my thighs are a little numb from having a halfling sit on them.
oh, and she laughs. Just again, big grin. Well, it's good to have a bit of chatter around the place. It's been awful quiet of late. I don't know what it is. You'd think with the harvest season approaching, there'd be more foot traffic coming through. But, well, she kind of looks around the room. It's good to see the old place with, well, proper sounds of food and drink and idle chatter. Look at me rambling on. I'll leave you to it.
What was your
And,
name, miss?
Sorry. Bev. Technically Beverly, but everyone just calls me Bev.
Well, nice to
Akobachi.
meet you, Bev.
Most people call me
I'm Narlug.
Ayakobachi. You can call me Yako though. And
Yeah.
something about those three gentlemen that you don't like, or is there something?
Oh, no. They were just a bit brusque when they came in. That's all. And she kind of like, sorry, I guess she'd really be kind of standing back a little bit from you guys, but not too far. She leans like looking around the corner, and they've just uncorked
Oh, they just uncorked the good shit
the
you broke up.
needing
Oh, okay.
drinks. Yeah, uncorked a bottle of their own wine.
Mm.
Um,
It's in a BYOB.
and it could be. Uh,
Well,
but yeah.
and can I
Maybe
tell that she's
food.
like genuinely, she just doesn't know them and just worried about their attitude, or she actually know them
Yeah.
and there's some type of, she's something to hold.
No, there doesn't seem to be like any look of recognition, and you can roll it if you'd like, but you can
Yeah,
tell
I
pretty
believe you.
plainly she seems to be just kind of an open and smiley person. She's just more confused than anything.
It's a good business owner. I
Um,
got you.
yeah. She's used to folks kind of doing what Irver did, which you come in and you go, man, am I? And they just went, talked to the hand, and went and sat down.
I got you.
Um, but yeah, she'll kind of just like allow you guys a little bit of space. Um, the kobold at some point kind of starts awake, burps, and then goes back to sleep. And now that there are people in here, she will actually literally like clap on, clap off, clap twice. And over in the corner by the stage, a little thing sort of hung in the corner. There is a broken wagon wheel, but a little stone set in the center starts to flow very softly and just sort of faint tavern music. Like a bard kind of just fiddling on a lute begins to play faintly as a ghost sound effect goes off. Much better. Father, I see you absolutely in the roast. No, it's fine. We'll just scrape that bit off. I promise it'll be okay. And they kind of, start fussing over the rest of the preparations for like they show up. And you can hear the three folk in the corner are conversing. Interestingly, Ayakobachi, I think you catch one name in all of this that you've heard a few times before on your. You've been hunting something that really did a number on a fair few members of your little group. And you've heard this term. You weren't for sure if it's a proper name or creature. You've heard people refer to an Ezek a few times. That seems to be around events like you witnessed. Strange claw marks, a sort of lingering scent of sulfur, and deep boot prints. Like something that left them was very heavy. I'm talking like 400 or 500 pounds. And you've asked along the road and come across similar signs of slaughter. And every time, if there are survivors or if there are people investigating, they seem to refer to this figure, this Ezek. But you catch them saying it over in the corner.
Okay. I'm gonna lean over to Gorlug. Oh, he walked away. I'm going to.
Narlug's still there.
Oh,
I'm
there.
just.
Gorlug's in
Yeah,
there.
I'm here.
Gorlug. I'm
Yeah,
gonna lean over to
Narlog didn't
Gorlug.
stand up and walk
I
off.
thought your mic was there. Gorlug. I've heard something.
It's Narlug.
Narlug. Excuse me. Narlug.
Sorry. I don't mean to come off so.
No, you gotta get me
it's-
now. You gotta get me now, so that by the time, you know what I mean.
Orcish names tend to be simple.
That name interests me. I've heard something I have to investigate.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, there's something I've been looking for a long time. It's taken a lot from me, and I need to seek my revenge in the name of Malar. And I heard its name over there. I need to investigate. Will you just maybe keep an ear open, and if I at least if I'm in trouble,
and
can
if you do find anything out, please tell. I love knowledge and love knowing everything about our world.
Oh, are you one with the weave? Are you arcane in your power?
Yes, I am practiced.
Well, I'm more with nature, and I'll tell you this: if you're looking for for some information. That little tiefling you were letting ride your lap, he has some type of magical device. I don't know what it is. He drank
Really?
from it.
Halfling.
Halfling.
Not
Sorry, I'm just focused on. No.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a halfling, little magical item. So I'm gonna go. I mean, I can't. Do you know what they were talking? Do you know their language they were speaking? I can't really communicate with them.
No, I don't think I was able to understand. But when they were talking to me, it was just the common tongue.
All right, I'm gonna go investigate. I'll be back. And
Very
I'm gonna,
broken common, but
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go
common.
over there as best I can and try to spark up a conversation. Like, hello, gentlemen.
Sure.
Thank you. Try to be as simple as I can. Thank you for the ride.
And you see again, you walk over and they're all like hee-heeing and ha, like a sort of elbowing and smiling going on, and one of them is actually one of the and
Holding a
seeing
what?
you walk one of the skulls that
Okay.
Narlug had given, and they seem to have been laughing about that, and he kind of puts it away and he goes, "No problem. Thank you for watching bandits."
Of course. No, I was just overheard. You're from across the bar. I didn't want to be rude, but I heard someone say Ezek.
Ezek, by the way.
Ezek.
Um,
Ezek.
and that's Izek if you want to put it in your notes or anywhere else.
Yeah, I got you.
And at that, you see the two kind of on the outside look at the halfling, and the halfling kind of shrugs, and the gentleman that has the bandana that was holding the crossbow earlier, he's the one you've kind of been talking to. Ezek. Yes, this is the person we know.
How do you know?
What and that you see, he clearly identifies it as a person we know.
Okay. And then I'll simply, the person you know. Well, just so happens to be he's a person I know.
Hmm.
How do you know him?
He is, and they kind of, you can see him searching for words. Not friend, not enemy, relative. And one of them kind of goes, spits on the floor and goes, "Enough."
Yes, I understand. Yeah, thank you. Well, if you see him, let him know Ayako Bachi is coming for him. And he'll smile very politely.
And
After
you
being
see
very
him kind of,
serious.
yeah. And I think coming for him may be that kind of thing that doesn't quite translate fully with them not quite getting common, but they kind of go, yes, Ayakobachi, we tell Izek. And they kind of laugh and like look at each other like, okay, and they smile.
Of course, thank you. And I'll walk away and just try to keep my eye on him and ear on him for the rest of the
Mhm.
night. And I'll go back to
Course.
Narlug and just let him know. Damn language barrier.
Zach, is that language that they're speaking? Is that one of the ones that I would be able to understand?
Actually, I don't think so, but it might be something that's close. To prevent me pulling up a whole bunch, it's a dialect of common, but it's a really weird one. It's
Okay.
spoken in only a few places. Um, I would like, can you guys just read out languages you know so that I know if
Yeah.
we do run into NPCs that are speaking,
Mine's mostly
just to
animal
currently
stuff.
happen to look. Yeah,
Let's see.
but just in case there's one that either changed or have.
Obviously
two.
Elvish, and the only special one I have is Primordial. Everything else is like common and
Okay.
Druidic.
Yeah, I was gonna say primordial is the kind of thing I was looking for. Actually, you know Undercommon?
Yes,
No, I don't know it. Oh yeah, good shit.
I do.
I don't think it's not quite the same, but you might pick up a little bit of what they're saying. Undercommon, I think, would share a fair few loan words with what they're speaking. Celestial,
Look at you.
also good to know.
Nice.
Also
I,
primordial and celestial. Damn. Okay.
And actually, I may want to amend that because I think I remembered. Don't the gnomes have a like undead deity in Faerun?
Yes, but I cannot recall the
Basically,
name.
I think I might know gnomish instead of dwarvish for that
Okay.
reason.
Yes. Fair enough. Yes, with Undercommon, again, you wouldn't know the name of this language, but you'd probably pick a few things up. Are you seeing that well, you haven't introduced yourself to Akabachi, but seeing that he keyed in on something over there, you're making a point to listen?
Yeah,
Okay. Go
yeah.
ahead
So
and give
I was
me
sitting in the corner just listening to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna say
uh
loud enough too. That's like not a whisper. I'll be like, "Damn language barrier! I can't understand what they're saying."
oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Good hook.
and then that also makes me inclined to ask questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so
Just
I'm
gonna
gonna
force
go.
you to interact, but that works.
Yeah, basically. I'm just gonna go up to Akabachi, just introduce myself. So it's like, hi, I'm Relmir though. So I was sorry, I was kind of listening to what you were talking about though. Like, who exactly were you looking for?
Ah, yeah, Relmir. Hi, Ayakobachi. This is my acquaintance Narlug. Well, we've traveled
Hello.
here. We're resting,
Wave to Norlog.
and well, they've mentioned an Isik, and it's someone I've been hunting for quite a while. And unfortunately, I think they didn't take me very seriously. I didn't get much information other than that apparently he's some kind of brother or half brother for them. Apparently, but that doesn't help me very much.
Um, I'm just gonna go up to the man, up to these guys, and
Sure.
just
As
seeing
you're
like,
walking over there before they like fully realize that you're heading towards them, I think you might overhear some of like their casual conversation. And again, you're not like getting the full picture here, but I think you'd probably catch like I'm assuming there'd be a slang word idiot that's shared between the two. And they're scolding the halfling like and you catch the vibe like they're saying to each other, some things aren't for public speech. And again, you're kind of like piecing together every second word in a sentence to kind of give this like,
right,
and he says, um, you get like, no one understands, and then you kind of lose the rest of it. But you do catch immediately after that, nobody understands Vistani is a word that pops out to you. Like that's probably referencing the language or the people, and that's Vistani. You can type that out if you guys would like.
okay,
Uh, and again, as you're walking over, they go from like kind of, a little bit of a scowl at each other to all smiles, uh, and kind of look you up and down. Interesting horns, and they smile.
okay. And I kind of just like, I just like nod like back at them though, and just give them a smile.
Hmm.
And,
So are you? Go
and
ahead.
then I'm just gonna ask him. It's like, I'm sorry, I overheard. Was it Isaac?
Yeah, this is, and he struggles for the word, and he says it in what you again assume to be vicinity at this point. Um, but he says a word that you recognize from Undercover. That's like, I guess cousin is probably the closest analog. And he goes, he's relative, but yeah, far relative. You know this name too?
I've heard it. I believe I've heard it in passing though, but don't really have any deep connections to it.
One of 'em under his breath, Investani, and it's just one word and just slop. And he is bold. We do not appreciate this. Should be with his people. Uh, and yeah, they again, they're not like outwardly like scowling at you, but you can tell there's a tensing as you're
Yeah.
kind of the second person coming over to ask them about this.
Okay, yeah, and then I would just be like, I just kind of just say like, nice to chatting with you guys though, and I kind of
Mhm.
just go back to Akabachi.
As you're heading away, actually, the halfling, he kind of looks you up and down. Wait. You play cards? And he holds up a pack of playing cards.
What do you play?
And he says a word that you don't recognize. And the other guy elbows, eh, 5 card, referencing to, basically poker. It's dragon poker, I believe, in lore. No money, just maybe one question. And he gestures like, you win. You can ask one, I win, I ask one.
Okay, I'm sure.
Okay. Rules are super simplified. You can see him, he smiles real wide. And again, these guys are dressed like super bright and colorful, almost like carny is like the closest word that
Okay.
might jog like the right vibe. And he immediately launches into like a complicated like bridge shuffle and like pulls the cards apart, bridge shuffles again, and then he fully like arcs the cards between 2 hands. And go ahead and make me a perception check, please. I shall also note, I do play with GM rolls. I'm rolling honestly on my side, but you will not see my dice.
Okay.
But we'll let you know this is a contested roll.
Big rolls.
God damn.
Very
Big
nice.
rolls.
As he shuffles, you catch just the very, very tip up his sleeve. And as he brings them all together, and you notice that he deals you that. He deals each of you 5 cards face down and sets the deck in the center.
You were breaking up
Sorry.
when you were explaining the dealing.
No problem. Yes, as he deals, you catch the card that gets dealt to you. He deals 5 cards to each of you.
The card in his sleeve was dealt to you.
Yes. Sorry, did I cut out again?
It literally the exact
Yeah,
same spot.
yeah.
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
putting it together. Don't worry about it.
Yes, he dealt you the hidden card. And you're free to look at them. So if you want to, take a peek, you can track it as he deals it to you. And it's like basically an offsuit 2. He intentionally dealt you a lemon.
Okay.
The way this is going to work is you're going to roll 3d6. I'm going to roll 3d6. You can choose to either hold on to them or drop a die and redraw. That's representing, putting cards back and redrawing. You're looking for a high number. I have my value. Yeah, 3 times. There you go. Okay, and so you can redraw, which means that lemon he dealt you, you can toss that 1 back if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay, and are you going to shoot him a knowing look or anything as you're
I'm going
playing
to.
dumb?
I'm going to play dumb.
Okay. As you redraw, as you see, he puts 2 cards back and draws up the top of his deck. I'm not going to force you to do so, but if you'd like to try and make a sleight of hand roll to influence that next die, go ahead and do so. Up to you.
Is there any repercussions if it's a bad roll or?
Don't
No,
know. He might spot you.
There we go.
What the fuck is up with Frank's rolls tonight already?
This man's dice are cracked as fuck. What the hell? So far, Frank's rolls are 20, 19, although you're probably, I guess you're rolling with advantage by default.
Yeah, I always just look at the
That's the
left
first
number.
value.
That's what. Yeah, exactly.
I'm used to toggling that on and off, but
I
yes,
did that
I
too for
should.
you because I didn't know it was easier. But yeah,
But yeah, that's fine. So either way, a 19 is very good. Let me
amazing.
roll my contest roll because he's going to try and spot that you're doing that. And as you go ahead and do so, you recognize game recognize game here, how the cards are marked, and you're able to take like the second card from the top and the third card from the top, not the top one, which is obviously marked again as a lemon, as he probably fixed the deck when he took his cards. You're able to do it real sneaky like. Go ahead and roll 2d6 and pick which one you want instead of the 1d6 you would have gotten as a reroll.
Okay, well, going with the 4.
Yeah. Okay, so your total then is 11. 4, 3, 4. And he looks at you like, okay, you're done rolling or replacing cards. I'm done replacing cards. You both turn your hands face up. He had also rolled an 11. You both have 2 pair, basically. It's a tie. And he laughs and laughs. And the other two kind of, elbow him again. And you catch that word idiot one more time. In the Vistani tongue. Ah, very well. 2 question or no question? Like asking, do we ask each other or do we walk away?
Let's ask each other a question.
Okay. He looks you up and down, trying to get a read on what might be interesting for you. Interesting about you that he wants to know. And I think, let's see what his perception is here. I want to ask you as a DM because I don't want to put this in your kind of backstory. But given what we talked about with gold and all of that, your gear looks pretty worn, I would assume.
Yeah, for the most part.
Not like ratty, but like, you've
But
had it for
like,
a while.
yeah, not raggedy, but just well worn, basically.
Sure. Maybe a well-mended little blended in elegantly, but like, not super new. He says, men like you, and he points where your horns are, usually easy to find work. Why? And he kind of looks you up and down. Not so wealthy. And he smiles. You can see on his face now there's a cruelty there behind that smile. Like he's intentionally insulting you, but trying to play it off as just oh.
I gotcha. Oh. Sometimes I just don't really work too well with people, that's all.
No team player. And he laughs. Go, you question.
Okay, you said he was your cousin.
Mhm.
Do you know where any idea, like, close to, like, his whereabouts would be?
Oh,
I'm just kind of just curious, like, not nothing too specific, though, just, like, region, so I'm just curious.
curious. And he laughs. Yes, I know where Izek is. And he thinks for a moment before he asks, are you sure you want to know?
Am I not gonna like the answer?
He
Sure,
shrugs.
sure, tell me.
Izek is in Ravenloft. And this is a word you probably haven't really heard. Like, it's said as though capital R Ravenloft, like it's a place in small village, Valaki, Vallaki. I wouldn't go there if I were you.
What's the problem about it?
It is a gray place. Very sad.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes that stuff can interest me, so I'm going to.
Spelling's there for you guys. Okay.
If he's fibbing or anything like that.
So I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? Because I think
Uh,
you
uh,
cut out
uh,
for me that time.
just seeing if he's lying about or giving me a misdirection.
Well, unfortunately, I guess he could nap one. Let's see. No, but that is a natural 2. You get the impression he's there's like a just a hint, a sparkle on the side of his eye. He's almost seemingly trying to bait you into asking more, which strikes you as odd.
And that so like just ask him it's like if he's like close with him too, or if he's in contact with him often.
Hmm. Often, no, but soon, maybe. Valaki is destination. The halfling is now looking at you. This is not the guy you've been talking to, but he's looking up at you. Okay. Kind of like a "oh, you naive fool" facial expression.
Gotcha. Okay. What's going on? I was like, yeah, that seems to be all that I really need that girl would really think of at the moment, though. So I'll leave you guys to it.
They nod. While you're there and you're paying attention to everything going on here, I maybe it would be of interest. The bottle they open is specifically it is a wine bottle. It's a brand you've never seen. Wineries would have their own label, just like they do now. It is from the Wizard of Wines winery, and on the front of it is a like kind of a red dragon head, not like roaring or shooting fire or anything, but kind of like looking at the camera slightly imposingly. But yeah, they watch you go and start talking to each other again in hushed tones. And as you're walking back over, Irvir, Bev will kind of lean over the bar and go, I hate to ask, but well, seeing as you're clearly the fighting sort, and I know you've had a rough day, but can you do you mind stepping in and making sure there's not about to be a brawl? That looked like a bit of a tense interaction.
Irvi will
Man of
chuckle. And
faith such as yourself, I'm sure is used to helping the small folk. Room's free for the night.
not a problem. Pour me a couple more drinks. I'll bring them over there.
And she will. Just 4 of them, I assume 2 mugs in each hand for you, but, a big solid clay thing is the big loop that you can really get your
And I'll
fist
put
in.
mine in my teeth.
Oh, okay. Well, she was pouring you a fresh one.
Oh well, I thought. Oh, did
You
Romir
plus
walk away?
3, because he walked over to the 3 of them again.
Yeah. So wait.
So 1
Oh,
for you
Romir
and
walked
1 for
away.
each
Okay.
of the 3 of them. Yes. So she was talking to you
Okay.
to go check on them.
Yeah, I thought Romir was still over there. It's like that's why shit's about to come to blows. Okay, I didn't realize he had walked back.
No, she's not totally oblivious. She's noticed the back and forth times, the weird energy in that last conversation. They're all like staring daggers at each other. So she just asked you to go check
Yeah. So Irvi will lower his head for a moment, take a deep breath, and perk back up with kind of fake, but he probably means it. Smile, and with 4 marks in hand, and not really with any purpose in his gait or anything like that. Just very casually approach the band and hold the mugs up as he approaches, and before even really allowing them to get a word in, Bev over there, most you guys might be having a bit of an off night. Wanted to send some drinks over to help liven things up. I see you might already have a bit of your own or a preference, but well, I don't know many people that'll turn down a free drink. And I'll move to try to find space to set the mugs down on the table.
I like it. Yeah, you were just inviting yourself to their table. Oh, to them, not to the party.
Oh,
I
wait,
see.
is that who's pissed off? Fuck. I misread that completely. I was like, I thought these were the people that were getting all pissed off.
They
Yeah,
were pissed
were.
off, but
I
they
didn't
don't
realize
speak
this
good
was you
common. You
trying
can
to
talk
make
to them.
me
I was trying to get you
go
to talk to
interact
the
with
party.
the party.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what needs to be diffused. They're all chilling over there.
No. I was thinking you might go talk to them and see if you could talk to the people that speak your language. But if you want to talk to the Vistani,
I don't know. If I misinterpreted it completely, then I would not. I would do what Bev asked me to do.
yeah, she was kind of giving you the sign to go. The other newcomers,
Yeah, I'm sure she would gesture towards their direction.
yes. And again, technically, while they're not the ones being caged, they are the ones that approached twice. So she's not sure what's going on there.
All right, fair. I see where you're coming from. Then that, but to these guys.
Yeah, there you go. And also, sorry for
Oh,
being a little slow to
you read
notice
me
that I was
right.
pulling
I
it
will
apart.
take a free drink. And Narlig pushes his empty ale aside and grabs a new one.
Yeah, I'll grab one too and just say thanks.
Thank you, and I'll put it down by myself, but I'll kind of lean it towards Narlug because I like to stay sharp, and drinking's not helpful in that category.
Fair enough. For the record, this is like a 1% ABV.
Maybe take
like,
a couple sips to get some
yeah,
hydration.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I'm thirsty, and
It's
alcohol
purified water.
keeps better than water.
Basically, yes. That's exactly what it is. It's booze because booze is compared to well water.
As Ervir approaches, is his holy symbol is it like easy to see?
Yes.
Can
It is contrasted heavily by his tunic and cloak, and it is very. He always keeps it out.
I think that's
instead of his
one
chest.
that's common enough as well that people would recognize it. Do you want to give like a 2-second overview of Kellenborg for people?
Yes. I actually I don't think any of his lore is secret or anything.
No,
So
exactly. That's
Kellenvor
what I'm saying.
is the deity of the dead, specifically like very similar to Raven Queen in that the soul passes from. And I don't even know how in the weeds that shit is. Basically, when you die, he's Saint Peter. You go see Kellenvor.
Oh yeah. Well,
It decides where you go after that.
Yes, then other shit happens, but also Kellenvor was a mortal who ascended to deity.
Okay.
He, with the help of what was his name? Cause it's something stupid. Because his name is like actually just Trickster or some shit.
It is.
And your guy's name is Kellenmore, technically? Is that the one, or?
Kellemvor.
Kellenvor.
Kelemvo.
Thank you.
His god.
Cool.
I could have sworn that was in. Oh, here we go.
It was a whole big deal. Because Thieric was the deity of the dead.
Correct.
And
Mask
I want to say
is
yes,
the god of
was
Eve.
Mask. Yeah. Mask worked with Kellenvor Lionsbane to kill Cyric. And then Kellenvor was voted in as new god of the dead.
Okay.
Basically.
The idea is I'm going to see the symbol.
To keep it light.
Yes.
I'm gonna see the symbol and just, after he speaks, say, a man of Kalimvor. Any person with a code or set of values that they cherish, please take a seat. You're more than welcome to sit with me.
Irvi will turn to Bev and give her a very slight nod.
He gives you like a
and,
little, just
sit
barely
down.
over the bar, like a little thumbs up.
But
down and
you have to excuse me though, please. I have to ask. What did you learn, Ralmir? I'll introduce you to. I have to know. Please tell me.
Yeah, Ezek though is like a distant relative, like a cousin of theirs. Is what I was able to point out though.
Cousin? Okay.
Then there's like it seems to be in the town of like Ravenloft and
Ravenloft.
Town of Valaki in the country of
Valaki.
Ravenloft.
Yeah.
Yes.
The town of Valaki in the country of Ravenloft.
My friend.
And that's pretty much all I was able to get. I couldn't make out like everything that they were saying though, but
You
yeah,
did.
they did seem they did kept on giving me looks like I was like being naive, like if I wanted to go there though. So should probably keep our wits up.
Well, I am indebted to you, sir. You've done me a huge favor without even the ask of a question. I'm very indebted to you, and I see you are a hunter of knowledge and secrets. And I could use a man like you around. I think I will stick with you until my debt is paid. I appreciate what you've done. If that's okay with you.
That is okay though, and there's no, as of right now, there's no debt to be paid, so don't worry about it.
Well, you just got me. I've been on the hunt for weeks. I've been in a cold trail. This is the hottest tip I've had in quite a while. So
No,
I'm gonna
well,
start eating my food
and then
excitingly.
I'm just going to I'm just gonna ask Sakabachi though, like what do you want? Like why are you chasing after him if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, simply put, he destroyed my entire village, killed my father, and I'm going to kill him. So once my debt is paid with you, I will be on to Ravenloft, and I will go find Ezek, and he will pay.
A story of revenge.
sounds like a dick.
Very much so.
And Narlug's gonna look over at what is it, Irvir? Ivir?
Irvi.
Irvir? Thank you for the free drink, by the way. My name is Narlug.
Irvi. And please thank Bev. And he will
Oh.
gesture towards the counter.
All right, she makes a big show of being surprised, and and goes back to like distractedly, but kind of side eyeing you guys, cleaning a glass with a rag or a mug with a rag. There.
Well met, Irvir.
He'll raise his mug.
Cheers.
So
Weary travelers finding much needed respite.
and to that end, there's one last lad. You can hear boots clomping along the road outside. And I do mean clomping when I say clomping. Heavy footfalls, not like huge or anything, but coming up from the same way you guys came from. Say large, seemingly full-blooded orcish fellow, just kind of like, I don't want to say like kicks the door in, but more just like kind of shoves the door in and kind of stands up and stretches. He's tall. He's like probably 6'5" or more. And walks over to the counter, and Bev doesn't really have time for her spiel. She's kind of got like, the cold drinks and hello. Kind of looks up at him, and he just plonks a coin down on the counter. Ale, please. Yeah, seemingly adding the please almost as an afterthought. Yeah, right away. It's fresh stew if you want as well. Just ale. And she gives it to him, and he will go and kind of flop down on one of the benches over here. Kind of gives you a momentary side eye. Gives the guy behind him a side eye. Gives the Vistani a side eye. Just starts to drink. Not a smiley fellow. Don't see any weapons on him. He's just wearing kind of like loose traveler's clothes. But he's a big bastard. Continue.
An orc. Wonder what
Mhm.
brings him here. And Darlug's gonna walk over to him and introduce himself.
Fair enough.
Full orcs okay in Faerun?
Full orcs, yeah. They're not like... You wouldn't trust a pack of 10 of them showing up. But they are known to be less animalistic than a number of the other settings. They're full-on people, just kind of and because by very different standards. Gnarly, you're a half orc or you're a full-blooded orc?
Half orc, but the village he
Okay.
comes from is orcs and humans. He just
Right.
isn't interbred.
Mhm.
So a lot of his current companions are full orcs.
Mhm.
So would this be one from his village that he would recognize?
You might like have. Would he be from your village? Yes, but not a friend. It sounds like you didn't have that many of those.
No.
But he's more like this is a guy that you would recognize from like more of the hunting party that like regularly is responsible for going out and just bringing back game to feed the actual group. He doesn't spend a lot of time in town. You're pretty sure that you recall that his name is Korg, but you're not 100% sure. Korgg.
Hello, friend, if I could call you that. Narchuk didn't send you here by chance to bring me back, did he?
And you can see like there's a moment where he recognizes you. No, no. Was following pack of boar. Got tired. Decided to find a place to sleep indoors for the night. Saw the lanterns from the woods.
Okay, good. And then Narlug's gonna tip his beer at him.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers, fellow orc. Hope you have a good night rest.
And he'll link it with you as well.
And then he's gonna go back to his party, unless he had
Fair
something to say.
enough. No. You could just see like this guy like is what the sigh is. Because again, going with the vibe that or the humans, I assume, kind of, he's filed you away under, not worth investigating, but fine. Pleasant enough interaction, clinks her glass, and goes back to staring straight ahead of him at the wall and drinking. You go back to the group. Go ahead.
So, I know I just met you guys, but my group kind of kicked me out and gave me 10 pieces of gold to find a lady of the night. None of you guys would know where any of those would be, would you?
Irvio kind of spit take at Lady of the Night.
You did just come down through Daggerford, which is past Waterdeep, both of which have brothels. I don't know if the priest is the guy you asked for a brothel recommendation, but
Narlug is not the best with social interactions.
Yeah,
He does not read cues very well.
Yakobachi's not even gonna look up from his meal. He's gonna be eating. He's be like, mating attracts predators. So then he just keeps eating.
sorry, it was just beautiful interaction.
Keep an eye out for you though.
Well, I would
might
assume the priest would know since he would try to avoid those places.
There's
Or maybe go there
no vow
to
of
persuade them.
chastity in many of the religions I'm aware of. I can't name a single one that requires a vow of chastity, in fact.
Oh, good. But you can't help me.
I mean, I could.
I might have.
That
I
wasn't
might.
the question I expected to hear tonight. That's all I'm saying.
I might have heard of places in passing, though I might be able to help you out.
Where are you from?
I'm
Oh,
from.
who?
To Narlung. Like, surely there are
Oh no,
no shortage of places you could go.
I'm from a traveling village of orcs and half orcs, and the way we do it is you find lady, you club her over the head, and she's your lady.
Don't
And
do that.
unfortunately, they were all taken in my village, and I'm not the best at talking to the girls, so I just never really had a chance. And I'm not allowed to come back unless I do this.
Don't do the bonk one.
Is that not accepted?
We
thought
are
that was
forbidden
normal.
from doing that as
No.
a part of all clergies. And
We are
generally good people.
we are a part of a civilization. We don't really do that here.
Again,
Oh, this
Akabachi's.
sounds very different from where I'm from, but I'll take your word
What?
for it.
I'll help you. I'll help you out.
Akabachi's not even gonna look up again. He's like, falcons. They fly up about hundreds of feet, and they have relations while falling hundreds of miles an hour towards the ground. It's quite exhilarating, actually. And he just keeps going back and eating.
Quite exhilarating. You know from experience?
I've seen it firsthand.
Oh, so watching it is exhilarating.
I'm
Like
gonna
some
experience
sort of
it one day.
falling cuckoldry.
When I get strong enough, I promise you, I'll experience it. No predators up 300 feet in the air, if you know what I mean.
It's not wrong.
Well, dragons are known to exist, but you know.
Don't even get me started on their mating practices.
Literally at the mention of the word dragon, the starts awake and seems to like intently observe you for a moment. Dragon? It says.
Yes, dragons exist.
Oh, all right. Thought you
Sorry to get your hopes up with a raised brow.
said. And you see him like thinking
not
about
know
how to
Draconic
explain.
either.
No, he just kind of goes looking for new employment. Nah. And he gets up, picks up his mug, which is any of us like picking up a full, a big mixing bowl, and totters over to the bar, reaches up and kind of shoves it up for Bev, and goes, outhouse. She goes and points, kind of towards the stables, gives her a little thumbs up, and kind of staggers out the front door to go find a bathroom. You would know kobolds are often basically thralls to dragon folk.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was
Yes.
like, so what? Do you just like count the gold pieces in their hoard, or what the fuck kind of job is that?
More like voluntary slavery.
Right.
It's their form of worship.
Go get the Starbucks and stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. Would Akabachi know about any dragons in the area? Young dragons, anything that you might know about?
Maybe give me a nature roll.
I don't know anything about dragons or fairy. Other than
Oh, damn.
There's a young green dragon in Thunder Tree, just about a couple miles
Yeah, I was
west
gonna
of.
say yes. You're
Couple
kind
miles
of in
west of
that
Neverwinter.
area. So
I might sell him that tip for maybe a little,
yeah, you definitely know about that one. And I think you would probably also be aware that there is a much older, much scarier black dragon that lives on the border between the High Moor and the Serpent Hills, which is like maybe 20 miles east of here, a ways through pretty shitty terrain.
I'll give him the option.
But yeah, Kobold wanders outside, like I said, is gone for minutes. Why don't you all give me a rolled perception check, please? Narlug, you are consistent, my man. 13
Double
and
13.
13. Oh, it's Ralmir
Look
too.
at that.
I don't think any of you would clock anything out of the ordinary. Narlug, you spot that it's gotten a little bit chillier over the last couple minutes. Again, it rolled because it's like a very thing. But yeah, there's like a little bit of a chill to the air, despite the fire stove. It was a really hot day, and now it's not. That's weird, but it's been slow and gradual. It's not like it's suddenly snowing or anything. Kind of glance out the window, and there's starting to pop up now that the sun's down. Difference in temperature.
We lost you on roll 20.
Sorry, you lost me on roll 20. I can see all of you.
Oh, you're back.
You're back.
You broke up a
you're
little bit
right.
there
You
too.
was gone for a second.
Was that audible, or should I repeat myself?
After you looked up.
Oh, you look kind of out the window, and there's like a light sort of mist rolling in. The day visibility is just going down outside. It's dark to begin with, but kind of could see the edge of the stables and the well behind you. It's just a little hazy.
Climate's kind of strange in these parts.
Yeah, those of you who have been here would probably agree with that sentiment. It's been hot for weeks now. I'm sorry, 10 days now. That's what they called them in Peru.
Odd for weather like this during the harvest. If Narlock mentions it.
Yeah, I think that
About
was out
3
loud.
o'clock?
Yeah.
No,
When you
now it's past. It's like just early in the evening, maybe like 6. Sun's starting to go down, but it's not dark yet. And you see Bev would head over to the fire and kind of like add another log. She seems to notice the unseasonable chill as well. And her dad would just kind of mutter, might be a good time to get some old wine going. And uncorks a bottle, not the same brand that the Vistani had, and pours it into a big pot. And as that's happening over there, it might catch your attention. The orc is now mean mugging the fellows in the corner. Like, full on, like he's recognized something about them and is now like one hand like this, staring straight at him, and occasionally will take a drink. And they're kind of starting to do the same at him.
I know an angry orc when I see one. I think that guy might have a problem.
Your friend of yours.
Oh, he ain't no friend of mine. In fact, I think he used to bully me when I was younger.
I'm terribly sorry.
That's all right. Everybody bullies me.
Oh. Sad.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope no one here at this table will be doing that.
Oh, no worries. As long as I got my books. And Arleg's gonna flip through one of the books he brought along. Sip on his ale.
Bull's meat is very rough. I'm not
Does it
interested
have a
in
title on it?
The orcs raided the human village.
That's the book that he's reading?
Yes.
Is it a picture book?
Yeah.
It's a short story.
The pop up.
Yeah, the pop-up
If you guys
book
are
for
interested, I
adults.
could read the story to you.
Cardboard cutout of an orc bonking a woman on the head with a club pops up out of the page.
No, I think it's okay. I think I've heard that one before.
Okay, suit yourself. It's one of my favorites.
Love it.
I guess
Ugh.
Irvir, without a super uncertainty, because he feels like he should turn to someone, but I guess it's the tiefling now. It's like, should we be concerned?
Yeah, I'm trying to. You notice it does look a little tense though, but I mean, to be honest with you, those guys in the corner, they were kind of dicks. So, I mean, kind of just let whatever happens, I guess.
I mean, whether any of them have it coming or not, Bev seems nice enough. Why would we want
That's
them
true.
to destroy her place?
Man,
Sure, they can figure it out somewhere else.
At least take it
yeah, I
outside.
figured. Yeah.
Well, I'll say that's
Yeah, because it's like I could want to see if I could try to convince your orc friend though, just to if he wants to do anything though, just to toss him out the door.
Mhm. We have 2 very high passive perceptions. Wow. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna go try and talk to him then,
Yeah,
Roman?
yeah, I'm gonna go
Okay.
try to. Hey, are those guys giving you any problems or looking at you weird?
He kind of looks at you briefly and then goes back to looking at them. Says, "Not giving me problems currently. Don't trust this sort though. These," and he throws a word out there that you kind of had to dig for. Vistani roam around causing issues wherever they go. Children going missing in the night. Women folk left defiled. And you know from your conversation, his version of that term is different than yours, given what Narlug was saying. Untrustworthy lot. And he spits on the ground. And the halfling reaches into like the side of his jerkin, as though where you know very well it'd be quite easy to hide a dagger there, but like he's resting a hand, a pommel probably hidden in that shirt.
Yeah, then I was gonna relay that information quietly to him. It's like that little halfling though looks like he's hiding a dagger.
And probably worse, he says quietly to you. And he looks up at you, and actually, I'm going to make him make an insight roll.
For me to
Pretty good for why you're talking to him. For like, you don't need to roll anything. You're what's your angle here? And your angle is just to de-escalate, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
clearly why you're
I mean,
walking over.
there's no ill
Yeah.
intentions.
And I think he clocks that. That's a pretty good roll from him. And he's going to sigh heavily. My problem, not public problem. I understand. And he will stand up, finish the rest of his ale, and go walk over, kind of brush past you, not like stiffly or anything, but just like there's not a lot of room between the bench and where you're standing. Just kind of
Right.
squeeze past, plonk his mug on the counter, offer Bev like a almost comical coming from an orc, like little half bow. And he is going to stride out the front door. As he does, I would like you to make an insight check on him. Okay. I don't think he's being super sneaky about it, so that 12's going to hit it. He is not done with this conversation, but he understands this should not be a bar fight. And he seems to be walking out the door with purpose. Uh, and yeah, he will round the corner. And with two of you that have the 15 passive perception, that being Ayakobachi and Ervir, you hear a wrenching, like ripping as though something heavy was being pulled out of the ground, and then a thump, like someone kicking the side of a wagon, and the sound of hoofbeats starting to head away from the inn, as though he just pulled where the horse was anchored, pulled that stake out, and kind of sent it on its way.
Let on a big sigh with a oh, shit.
And the halfling, you see, Rolmir, clocks him go around the corner through that window next to, and you see him cock his head and jump to his feet and run out after this guy. The other two are a little slower, but they will follow very rapidly. Whoops. The kobold, I don't know why I selected him. Basically just... They're out of the building. It's up to you guys whether or not you wish to proceed. But you can hear raised voices outside now as they shout back and forth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna ask Narlog though. It's like, you want to help out your orc friend because he might be in a little bit of trouble.
You know he's a tough guy. He's part of the group that goes out into the woods at a time,
Not
and
much help.
often alone.
Not much. Not sure how much help I could be to him. But I'm definitely interested.
I don't know if I can help, but I do like watching shit.
Yeah. I'll follow you out there. Don't worry. You have to go by yourself, buddy.
Okay, because
Ervir will pick up his shield, leave the weapon sheath, then as he moves to walk with the party.
Okay.
You guys are talking about being worried about the orc. What about the other three?
And as you say other three, and you are now heading out, the situation has changed slightly. The halfling and the man with the crossbow have run off after the wagon. And now the orc is just standing there, arms crossed, and the other guy has kind of like a very lax standing, like very, and he has one hand back, kind of like, almost like you'd think like ready to draw, like in an old western. There's nothing on his hip but a belt pouch that I think especially Narlug would recognize as a component pouch. This guy's probably a caster.
Arlog is definitely interested now, and is going to get closer to watch what goes down.
Okay. And the go ahead. I'll
I'm
let you
gonna
guys get set up.
I'm gonna go up, just like be like around the corner, so I'm out of sight though, and then I'm just going to do
No, sneaky or trying to be sneaky.
trying to be.
Okay. You know, seven's not particularly great, so you're like pressed up against the wall, but you definitely scuff something as you do so. So you make some noise, but you're not in of the orc, and you're kind of half hidden from the Vistani guy. Half cover, basically, in case anything were to go wrong.
I don't want to be sneaky.
Okay.
I just want to walk up. I guess I'm pretty close to the caster guy, but I don't really want to make it look like I'm on his side. So, my back to the wall a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to make it look like a 2v1 thing, but, shield definitely in one hand, but raise the other, like, hey, come on, guys. There's no reason for this. We were all just trying to relax. What is going on? Why are you making that face at each other?
And the Vistani fellow, again, you see him glance over at you for 1 second, and then glance at the orc, says, ask him. And the orc says, just taking out the trash. Thought it was time they moved on down the road. And he gives you a big, like, you got the big underbite with the tusks, big toothy smile.
And it couldn't have waited until tomorrow? When they would have left anyway?
The sooner they're out of these lands, the better. Sooner they're out of any land, the better. And the Vistani fellow, you and your kind are no better. You raid, you take what is not yours, and yet you point at me as though I am evil. And there's like clearly they're still staring daggers at each other. Chance, maybe this doesn't turn in. Is there anything you guys would like to do? I guess it wouldn't be a sword fight. The orc's unarmed, the guy's a caster. But you get what I'm saying. But this appears to be a like intense hatred from both of them.
Yakubachi's gonna lean over to Narlog and be like, "As far as I'm concerned, if they couldn't defend us, keep their stuff. It's theirs for the taking. It's, you know, if you can't defend it, then it's not yours."
Fair enough. But that was our ride.
Yeah, it's already gone though. And they're not even going to Ravencroft anywhere. I'm definitely gonna go find.
I'm gonna be Ravenclaw.
Yeah. Ravenloft. Excuse me.
Okay, so you guys are bantering amongst yourselves
Yeah, we're just
rather
kind of
than
talking,
stepping in.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
step in. I'm just gonna stand back and watch what happens, unless Narlug does anything or
Narlag's just
Ralmir.
waiting to see some spells go off.
Obviously, Ervir wants to break it up. What are you gonna do, Ralmir? I'll kind of follow your lead. I still.
I'm just still like observing though, seeing what happens. I'm just like,
Okay.
like I'm constantly like peeking over the corner though, just like trying to be like nonchalant about the situation, just trying to be hidden, just to see where it goes.
I think at the offense of, your kind are just as bad, the orc is going to step up, puff out his chest, and say, "What did you say to me?" And the guy says, "A pestilence." Sorry, it's not quite the voice. Pestilence. You don't belong. And the orc is going to reel back and give me a second to roll. He is unarmed. He's going to try and punch. You wanted to see some magic? As the orc goes to throw this punch, looks like it's going to strike him solid. Like, this guy is
We've
probably
lost a
10.
lot of you.
Yeah,
I'll try again. Check. Am I clear now?
Animations were on point though. I was like, just watching you box down there.
I was like,
But yeah, so he's going to reel back and like, now, yes.
You're good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's bad,
he's-
sometimes it's not, but
I will try and figure out what the fuck is wrong by next session. I'm really sorry, guys. But he
It's okay.
will reel back and throw a punch. It's not like, to the jaw, but it is like a solid center of mass. He's going to hit him. And you wanted to see some magic. The Vistani flicks something out from that little pouch in an instant and puts up a... And it's like the orc just hits like an invisible ball in the air. Go and roll me Arcana, if you would like.
I can cast that.
Actually,
spell.
you probably know this spell.
I do know the
you know
spell.
shield, so
Yep.
you recognize it. But what you don't recognize is what he throws up shield defensively, and then functionally on what would be his turn. Response is he points directly at the, and he makes a weird. So I guess the way I would describe it is like you're looking almost comically through, your fingers, like you're holding a spyglass. Points and this says,
Yeah, he's summoning Cone.
yeah, the mists will find you. And that's in clear, unaccented common. And all of you feel some sort of ripple go through the air. It's not a spell, but you can feel that sort of singeing sensation of nearby magic. And the orc kind of staggers back and he goes, "You dare? You would use the evil eye on me?" And he's going to try and attack him again. Anybody stepping in for round 2?
I would like to try, but I don't know.
What would you like to do?
Is there like in pseudo initiatives? I don't have a spell. And I'm not.
If you want to interject, you can do so at what would be the end. Can you hear me? I just saw everybody.
yeah, I can hear you.
I
yeah,
don't know.
I hear you.
You can interject at the end of the round. You can see the orc's about to punch him again, but basically you go after the Vistani and then you'll be initiative because you chose to step in at the end of the round. If that makes sense. We can track it if you want.
Yeah, I'd want it. I don't. Mechanically, I think I'm fucked.
You can grapple.
Yeah, I think
you wanna
that's what
just
I
try
have
and
to
grab
try to
his hand?
do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is what so
Um,
I guess I could do that from here.
If Ayakobachi sees that, he's gonna assist. If he sees that Uvir is actually
Yeah.
gonna interact, I'll give the help action to Uvir as I try to maybe distract this guy with like, hey, what are you doing? And maybe he'll turn his head and then Uvir can kind of try to grab him or something.
Okay, so you're trying to grapple the Vistani or the orc?
Oh, which one are you
The
trying to grab?
orc who's winging.
That's
Oh,
what I thought.
then I'll do
Okay.
that then.
You could
Yeah,
still like
Narlog will
call
step
out.
in
Yeah, yeah,
too.
yeah. Okay.
But Narlog's
So you're
not
all
gonna do a help. He's gonna cast a spell.
okay. What would you like to cast?
Sleep.
Sleep. Oh, interesting. Okay. Um, go ahead first because of the order we kind of went for. Mike, I would like you to make a melee attack. That's how it starts in 5e, and what it does is it replaces the attack with a grapple, but you still have to hit.
Okay,
So please
so
do so.
that be an unarmed melee attack?
No, because you're not proficient with unarmed. So pick a weapon you're proficient with.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I could just roll my.
Well, I guess you could roll unarmed, but you can also draw your sword and just use it to like tie up his attack if that's what you're more comfortable with. Whatever your method would be. If you want to do unarmed, go ahead. But you
I
are
would
not.
probably want to
proficient.
try to intercept it with my shield. Realistically,
I'd argue you're proficient in shields. Go ahead and treat it as a melee. That's fine. I can see that as an argument.
uh,
Oh, that's a crit. Yeah, you are definitely able to get in the way. Normally, this would now be contested athletics because you crit. I would like you to roll that with advantage.
I'm rolling athletics now.
Yes, that's the way it works. You swing to see if you hit, and then the athletics is decide whether or not the grapple is successful. Oh dear.
Oh my god.
Hmm. Unfortunately, his was a 14 on the die. Um, so you are able to like what I'm going to roll here is basically he turns his attention on you, but he's not sure he wants to punch you in the face yet. So you don't grab him, but you do stop him from hitting the guy. Akabachi, you're providing the help action there, so you're just kind of like, whoa, whoa, hey, like trying to, like a distraction, catch his attention, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and hit that sleep spell. You wanna cast it?
Yep.
Keep in mind, sleep will target everybody, but it will start from the point that you choose and will use up hit points as it goes out from. That's the way it works.
Well, it's gonna be on the orc.
And
Okay.
elves are immune to magical sleep.
That is true.
That's a good roll.
Okay, 27.
You got 2 8s in there.
And yeah, that is a hell of a roll. 887 for that match. Twos are not ideal.
Oh, what the?
Oh, you're trying to see the spell description?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bug. I don't know
Yeah.
why
The
that
DM
happens
has.
for players.
Yeah, it's lame as fuck.
So that didn't link to you guys, right? Or did that?
I see the
And
description.
I see
okay,
it now.
okay. So only my rolls are hidden. I wasn't sure. Okay, so it looks like there is the save, right? It just works.
Yeah, there's no save. It's just based on HP.
Okay, cool. It looks to you like the orc just he turns to you, Ervir, like he's in the middle of saying, "What the fuck?" and just falls over, literally just face down, snoring softly. He has many more HP than you would expect. There is, I assume, not enough to put anybody down with the 3 remaining hit points. So he just conks out, and the Vistani thinks about it for a second and steps back and puts his hands up. Looks down the road. My wagon. May I?
Of course.
We just didn't want anyone getting hurt.
I do have one question for the Vistani though.
Go ahead.
Like when you casted your spell though, when you did like your vocals for that though, you said that in perfect common with no accent. It's like, why was that?
It is not me who speaks. It is the weave that speaks through me. And the weave, if you are not familiar, is basically the second layer of reality that magic bends. So, like, when Narlug casts a spell, he's basically plucking at the fine workings of reality to make what he wants happening. So basically, he's saying, don't ask me, that's how the magic works.
See
Okay.
if he's any better,
Um,
or if he's just good at faking accents.
actually, so first of all, his opponent is bad, so you do beat him in the contest. He seems to be being in what he's told you,
You were
but you
breaking
get the
up, but
sense
you said
he
he was
he
being
seems truthful,
Okay.
but you get the sense yeah, what I said was truthful in what he, meaning maybe he held something back in his, but that wasn't a lie.
Okay.
And he kind of gives you like a, can I?
I mean, I'm not. Yeah. Okay. No, that's all I really wanted to know, because that's the one thing that that whole
Mhm.
interaction though that caught my ear. So
Yeah. And again, like to aid the description there, I suppose. When I say imperfect comment, I mean like maybe not even fully
Queen's
sounding
comment.
like his voice.
Mm.
Um, like him, but like with a filter over it, even. Something there, the words had power, I guess is how I would describe it succinctly.
okay.
And what he said was, the mists will find you. But yeah, if you give him leave, he is going to just take off after his friends and the horse and the cart.
Malar speed.
And then Narlug's gonna come drag the orc into one of the wagons.
Okay, yeah, just
Or
dump
set up
Korg
as
out
the
back
bed.
somewhere.
Yeah, into one of the rooms, as they
Sure,
call
yes. And as you pass the outhouses, you hear the kobold snore.
them. He had a fun night.
But yeah, you head out to this section that's behind the inn, which, like I said, it's broken down wagons, but the wagons themselves, like the interior, they all have like a little bedroll and like a way to like close a curtain around the back. They're not like a secure inn room or anything, but they're a reasonably private, reasonably comfortable place to sleep. And given the charges that they're asking for them, it being basically nothing, that seems fair, right? Um, but as you kind of drag him through this field, that mist that had kind of been wafting across before, it seems even thicker now. Like almost as though it roils along the ground like a liquid. Kind of up to mid shins, and you can't see the edge of the woods at all anymore.
He's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm gonna toss him into one of those wagons and make myself way back into the inn where
Sure.
there's light and I can see.
So yeah, we'll just there's got to be a sleeping. There we go. He's off that way somewhere. No, good enough. Um, so, uh, as you come back in, Bev has like cleaned up the plates and stuff. We're not out there for long, but like she's pulled everything off the tables. The Vistani jumped up without clearing their like small effects. So like they grabbed their, gear, but they left that bottle. And she's looking at it and kind of smells it. Expensive stuff, she kind of mutters to herself, and will actually pour a little tiny bit, swirl it, and taste it. Not bad. Uh, Thank you all for um, maybe de-escalating isn't the word, but making sure that didn't happen indoors.
Oh, you're welcome. You do got an orc in the back though. I threw him in one of the wagons if you don't mind.
Oh, no, that's okay. Korg actually comes through not horribly infrequently, maybe once every few months. He's always good for his debts. I'll just charge him in the morning. Can I offer you all a place for the night? On the house at this point. I feel as though you've done enough to earn one.
Yeah, definitely. I don't want to be walking around in this creepy mist.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, and she kind of peeks out the window and she's
Are we not going to talk about that? You know, with the thing the guy said?
It was a bit
the
odd.
what?
Oh, the mist will find you. It
That is what he said.
did seem awfully odd.
And the orc called it the evil eye after he made that gesture and pointed at him.
Well, it's a magic I don't know of. Bev, do you know anything about this evil eye?
She thinks and rolls an arcana check behind the screen, which you can roll as well, actually. I think you're not. The others aren't arcane casters, but you have some studying. You probably wouldn't be able to fully recognize it, but you might be able to figure, never mind.
Yep.
No, with the 6.
I don't know.
It was magic. You know that. But yeah, she thinks, I mean, I've heard superstitions around such a term. I think people are worried about being cursed by old, decrepit ladies and witches and stuff, but she just kind of shrugs. I don't know. Sorry. But given that it's quite cold, if you'd like, I've got some portable bed warmers. I wouldn't use them in the bedroll. The wagon nice. It's the least I can do. And she'll start loading up. They're like metal. Basically, think like a pot with a lid, but with
Yeah.
top that kind of let it breathe.
Oh yeah.
With coals from the fire. They've got a nice handle. Please choose whichever wagons. If I
That one was too
clean
big.
We
a
didn't catch
Yeah,
any of
that
that.
one was too big.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can usually catch it, but that one was too big.
Pick whichever wagons you like. Ones that are a little bit further out, probably. But with the mist, if you want to be closer to the light, the beds were turned down. Well, 3 days ago, meaning changing this thing.
Well, it's probably better than anything I'm used to. But can I get an extra warmer for our buddy out there?
Oh yes, absolutely. And she'll make up a 5th one, and I guess you'll kind of have to like carry them in separate hands. It's probably too big to like
Yep.
hook together. But yeah, I wouldn't want him catching cold. um, yeah, you grab all that stuff, and you are free to pick wherever place outside you would like. Sorry, not map, but like I said, there's probably like 10 wagons back there. Each one sleeps up to 2. 1 if you want to be really able to spread out. 2 if you want to have somebody, kind of watch your back or whatever.
I haven't slept in a bed in a month.
And we're talking like mattress on the floor, but hey, that's better than hard forest ground, right?
Right. And as a elf who lives in the forest and probably doesn't get all the opportunity to shower as often, and I don't want to judge you, Narlug. Would you want to be roommates with me? We probably have similar.
We probably have similar levels of hygiene.
Similar levels of
I'm used to sleeping with orcs in huts. Doesn't bother me none.
Perfect.
I love it. And so then are the other 2 of you going to double up, or are you taking your own?
Would probably bring up that whole mist thing again and
Okay.
ask if it sounds like a good idea to maybe double bunk.
Yeah,
fair.
that's if it wasn't, especially with the evil eye too, that it's kind of getting me a little nervous though. So it's probably best if we stick together.
Yeah, the
Can't disagree with that,
Not
right?
friend orc can stay in his own, but
Yeah, no,
He's a bully. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
He
he
gets
got a
more like
warmer
a
than.
swirly.
Yeah.
I mean, d- honestly, the Vistani guy was kind of spitting facts, but at the same time, I'm just like, yeah, he do all those things, but also, is the orc right? Do you do those things too? Because it's like, that don't sound too good, bro.
No. So, you guys are going to double up. As you all walk, again, kind of between two buildings, and you head past where you heard the kobold before Narlog, it's silent in there now. In
Hmm.
fact,
In the outhouse?
yes. In
Really?
fact, those of you with a 15 passive perception would notice inherently, you don't even hear like breathing.
That's not good.
Oh, might as well knock on the door.
You knock. Nothing. There's like a little cutout kind of high up for ventilation if you wanted to like peek. You could. Probably have to stand up like on your tippy toes. Or you could just open the door. It's not like it locks the fucking outhouse.
And I knocked and he didn't say nothing, so we opened it.
Okay. You open the door to find no kobold. And he also didn't come back inside.
Huh. Did he fall in?
A reasonable concern, but this isn't like a latrine pit. This chamber pot under a seat. There's not really an inside to fall in.
Hey, he fell into his mug. Can he fall into the chamber pot?
It's true. No, he's not quite that small. He does not appear to be in here.
I'm gonna. So am I aware that like they checked him or?
I assume you guys would all kind of move together.
Okay.
So like,
So I'm
you're all
gonna
heading out back.
I'm gonna do an investigation check though to check for like see if I could see like tracks of him though, see if he like went
Sure.
anywhere.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Okay, 14. That's pretty solid. You would catch actually a fair bit about this. You see footprints, little teeny tiny. He doesn't wear. He's naked after all. Heading out there, and he tracked some dirt in here, and then presumably turned around, popped up on to actually sit on it. And there's a spot where you see like he probably fell asleep and kind of drilled on the wall, but there aren't any footprints leading out.
If like he's not like at like the ceiling, like he didn't like climb
Nope.
up there for some reason. Okay.
In the case of the room, there's no sign of him in here.
Huh.
Literally, like he vanished on the shitter.
Well, that's something.
I didn't know you had the hunt in you, Ralmir. You followed those tracks like a true hunter.
I love it.
Yeah. I just sometimes you just have to keep a keen eye on things. So I usually try to have my wits about me.
Based on my experience, it's most likely the kobold was picked up by a giant bird and taken as food.
I think these have a roof.
They do, but like kind of a lean-to roof, not like a roof. But you don't think a giant bird capable of lifting a kobold off could have fit in?
He did. We walked. There's his footsteps, and they stop here. So where'd he go? Did he vanish?
There a
Then
door? A knock on the back?
You check for like a hidden, latch into the stables or something. Seems to
Yeah.
be a wooden wall. You can. I guess I should have made you roll, but no, there does not appear to be another way here. He could have climbed up and over, I guess, but you don't see any like claw marks on the wood where he would have had to scramble. He's
Wait.
got, he's short. He would have had to like jump and kind of scramble up the wall to make it to the top.
would like there with the mist though, there wouldn't be any like possibility of him getting like consumed by it.
The mist isn't
Maybe
in here yet,
it's
right?
it's like knee deep everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry if that didn't come through earlier. It might have been when I was.
No, That makes sense.
cutting in and out.
I
But
thought
yeah,
it was still like outside of us. I didn't realize it was like
no, you
within
can't
where
like
we are now.
you cannot see the tree line at all, but everywhere has like kind of a knee-deep, dense, misty fog.
I'm going to. Hey, Narlo, can you come here for a sec?
What's up?
You're keen with magic though. Would you be able to like see if there was like any like magic for like anything like magical that happened over here, to, for the disappearance of our little kobold friend?
I could try, but this seems to be a magic that I'm not too familiar with. What would I even roll for that? Just
I
investigation?
would say Arcana,
Yeah,
um,
that's why I called him over
unless you
there.
have Detect Magic.
I do not.
Okay.
And my rolls are not with me today.
No, they are not. I would say, like, again, you have an idea that, sure, he kind of pointed you in the right direction, maybe. He had a plan with this question. It wasn't just like, what happened? Maybe something magical happened here. Maybe it had something to do with the mist. And you think about it, and while you're not able to nail down a spell, you are able to know, there are a lot of magical effects that could create fog like this. Like, you know about fog cloud and all of that. You even know about there are magics that cause like unusual weather patterns over very large areas, but you've never heard of like a kidnapping fog cloud. You're not really sure.
Right,
But the
these are
fog
two
does
conflicting
strike you as
things.
unusual.
Yeah, it beats me, bud. Can't really explain the disappearance, but this fog is not natural.
Well, give me a few minutes. Maybe I can help make some sense of this, even though it feels like a shot in the dark to me. And I will begin ritual casting Detect Magic.
Oh, okay. You choosing to ritual cast rather than instant?
Yes,
Okay. So a ritual cast takes 10 minutes.
correct. I
Um,
asked him for a few minutes. I
which
figure other
means
things will happen while I'm doing this.
yes. So you need a little spot to kind of like sit and lay out the few things that you need for that. I'm sure there's, appropriate bit of incense and like whole, basically set up like a little altar. Um, and as he is casting, he kind of has to close his eyes and focus. The rest of you notice that like when he sat down, kind of cross-legged or whatever, the mist was kind of sitting at his waist, like your guy's knees. And as he continues to cast, like it's getting deeper and denser. But you do notice it doesn't seem to be extending into the building. And when you went out and took the orc out there, it wasn't really prying into the wagons either. But it seems to be getting denser and denser and denser and climbing higher and higher.
If it gets to a point where it looks dangerous, I'll definitely say something to Valamir.
Not like over his face or anything, but like, by the time 10 minutes go by, it's risen like, so, he's kind of sitting all the way like up to mid chest. And, Erver, your eyes snap open and your casting is complete. Maybe like just a bit of a glow to the eyes. And it takes you a round to focus. And then you catch magic everywhere. There's a slight hint of it to your cohort, all three of them. But the fog roils with a number of schools of magic. It's like a weaving in and out of different patterns and colors that you've come to associate with different schools. There's definitely necromancy in there. There's definitely evocation in there, and there's definitely illusion in there as well. And concentrated in the outhouse is a spike of evocation magic.
Revere will immediately jump to his feet with a look of concern. Grab the orc. We're going inside right now.
Oh jeez.
Okay.
I ain't the strongest, but I'll try to help move him.
Narlug is
He's a big dude, but with two of you, kind of no matter
Yeah.
who you can. Okay. Yeah.
Grandma.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Technically a little further out, but like if you're making a hustle, jogging,
Yeah.
you notice like again now the fog is like well up to even while standing stomachs, and you don't feel like a resistance from it, but it is icy cold now. It moves almost like a liquid, like as you pass through wake and like it roils up in waves in front of you. And as you run to check for him in the wagon, he is gone as well.
Oh
You
man,
find an empty wagon.
I didn't get to give him his warmer yet.
Nope.
Well, I'm going inside.
Okay.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
gonna
for
follow.
Yep.
As you run back in, coming from the woods, it is now like a wall of fog moving closer.
Oh, that's not normal.
No, it is not.
The fog wall's usually another time of year.
That's really a spring thing, you know.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
we come
so-
inside, I'll mention to the group the mist is definitely magical. It was several schools of magic. I couldn't begin to explain what it does or how it does anything, but it's not normal. We need to be careful. Maybe board up windows and fireplace. I don't know.
As you all run back inside, both of them are missing.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
jeez.
Where'd the barkeep go? Is it not safe in here either?
You don't know, but as you stare out the windows, the fog pulling presses again. And as it does so, frost begins to.
Well, it was an honor knowing all of you. I hope wherever you disappear to, it's beautiful.
Yeah, not today. Close the door. Lock the house.
Okay, closing and locking the door. Is there anything anybody would like to be doing in
Is this like right here? Is this like an open window?
windows? Yes, they're glass, but they do have like.
Okay, but like is the window like open or closed?
No, they're closed.
Okay.
This is like literally just a pane of
Okay.
basically glued in.
Okay.
They don't really open.
Okay. I just wanted to know if I needed to shut it or anything like that.
Maybe I'll take a rug or something, try to stuff it underneath any openings underneath the door, or maybe in the fire. Maybe the fireplace is probably still burning. Probably would be very smart to
Yes, it is.
throw a rug in there.
It does have like a little metal flute cover you could put on the front of it that like would block the fire and then the chimney and everything. But yeah, you guys kind of like hurriedly running around the room, eggs and whatever you can find into any be let any. For a moment, it's just almost entirely silent here, except for that jaunty tune still playing. Small object she activated. It's like basically happy lute music is currently playing from the corner. This terrible weight. You can't hear any sound from outside, anything at all. For a moment, it's almost like the building is holding and a tiny trickle of fog.
I feel like you're supposed to be giving us a really awesome like mood
I
setter.
am.
You break it up like crazy.
God damn it. Let me try something.
I didn't want like half of like this climactic like sentence
Are you-
finisher for us to cling on. So I was like, hold on, just don't even let us get a snippet. I know something's coming.
Okay. Trying again. Am I clear-ish?
Yep. It kind of just comes and goes.
Okay.
Now,
So, as I was saying, I'm going to back up a little bit. You've patched up as many holes as you can. You've closed down what's possible, and there's like a moment of held breath from you, from the building, fog, everything. It's silent, other than that jaunty tune. Now, well, starting to wear on you a bit, And then there's a creak from up above. A small swirl of fog begins to leak between the rafters, finding a hole somewhere. And then another, all at once, like a white wave, washes down the rafter, the entire room. All of you find yourselves feeling as a drift laying on your back, empty expanse of water, floating in almost would have a that. And it's quiet and cold, endless. For you, maybe almost a little bit comforting, Ver. You can only imagine some of the endless empty rest that those of your faith guide feel while their fate is being determined. But it's not due to last, because in an instant, as though you were plunged into a endlessly deep pool of ice cold water, you jolt awake, and all four of you find yourselves standing on an stretch of road in front of a massive set of stone gates, flanked by two large headless statues. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ignore all of that. Why are there the animals the animals
super fucking gay.
that's from Andrew. The animals are all, and that is from my Victorian Vampires campaign. Find this image to be what you're standing in front of. There's now shafts of weak sunlight, and it was just night minutes ago. You look around, and the expanse behind you is an endless wall of white mist. But ahead, the old iron gates creak slowly open. And because we've gone on for quite a while tonight, I think that's where we'll leave our hanger until next time.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Barovia, motherfuckers. I
Mm.
hope you don't like it here very much.
Spooky.
Also, successfully diffusing that potential combat encounter, successfully role-playing, and having some clever ideas to delay that at least a little bit, you can all level up to 2 by next session.
Woo.
We did it.
Good session. Sorry I cut out so much.
Oh.
I don't know what fucks up with that.
Honestly, the
Try a different headset.
Yeah, this one's getting a little old.
The webcam
but-
was so key because even like, sometimes it would be like this, and you would do it, and it would be like, and a lot of times you could pick it up by just watching your mouth. But like sometimes it'd be like, nope, can't do that one. That one was too long.
I'm really
Yeah.
sorry.
It's not your fault. It still works
It would
fine.
drive me crazy as a player. I just feel bad.
It was really, if I had to
Oh.
measure it out, we're talking 90% perfect, 10%.
Okay.
It really wasn't that bad.
Other than that, just to make sure, this is my first time DMing for you guys. Or feel like we're okay in terms any complaints about, oh, I didn't get a chance to do what I wanted, that kind of thing.
Nah.
Or does that seem okay for
Yeah.
everybody?
That's fine.
Good for
Yeah,
me.
I feel like everyone got
everything
to
worked.
talk and
Got to
do
talk
stuff.
when I wanted to.
I got to try to like persuade people and stuff like that, so that's cool with me.
Okay. Yeah, there's I promise there will be plenty of fights, but also yeah.
Yeah, it was
You-
fun.
You
You
wanted,
guys got to have a role play encounter that didn't end with rolling initiative.
right? You played cards too, Frank.
I
That's
did
true.
play cards.
That's pretty sick.
Played cards well. You both spotted him trying to cheat and cheated with.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, I think that was interesting. I actually dynamic thing. Yeah, I think the party's fun together. So, good job, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get better.
Yeah,
We'll start meshing more too. So
for sure. And I will look into another microphone. I don't know if that's the issue.
It might not even be your mic because
I-
you're
I
always.
see that's the thing. Like I see a few times
like right there.
to red. There it goes again. Yeah, I assume. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the connection thing in Discord like dropping down.
It
So
could be
I think it's
it
an
trying to
internet issue.
upload your it's I would bet that if you dropped the webcam, the voice would probably come in fine.
I mean, we play D&D like this normally with both, although I normally don't Discord and roll
I just
20.
assume it's a tonight issue, not a forever issue. I assume your
I
net
hope
is
not.
normally stable.
It's been a
Uh,
little spotty the last couple weeks, but it's been a little spotty all over the valley. There's some issue that Cox is. So I don't know.
While
Bunch
I
of
have everybody, would you guys be open to moving
yes.
to
We
Monday
talked
or
about it
Wednesday?
before you got here. Actually, Monday would be better.
Yeah, that's
in
fine
my
with me.
opinion, but I can do
Yeah.
Wednesday if that works better for other people.
Mondays can work out though, because like I'll be guaranteed to be open Monday night. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
So,
open any day, so
I don't expect it to need to be permanent, but
Yeah, until you
if
guys
Yeah.
get
you want
tired of
to.
whatever season.
like
Yeah.
consistently, I'll be open Monday night. So
Yeah, and I have no problem with Monday. So if Monday works best, then let's just go for it.
I'm open on
It
Monday.
sounds like, yeah. And speaking of, would you guys like to play next week or in 2 weeks? What would you prefer?
I like where this is going though, so I kind of want to play next week. To be honest
Okay,
with you.
I can
let's
do
do
next.
it.
As long as you can handle it, DM, then I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no problem.
yeah, if we do.
Like I said, I've run this mod before.
Cool.
There are only a few things that I will need to hard prep, and those are a ways in. So, so our event info will be next, and the date for that would be the 12th if we're gonna play on Monday.
Sounds right.
And then let's go like 2.5 hours ish. Screens 22. And then let's do this and then see if that works. So if you guys click the events tab in the top left, or a little indicator, and then just that way it's in your calendar. Yeah.
Oh.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks for the
Thank you,
prime,
guys.
Dave. Thanks for the prime, Rick. You guys are awesome.
Got you. Got you.
You guys are the best.
Oh, did you boost?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
We
Dude.
were on his Twitch stream.
Oh, on there.
I had the free Prime subscription.
I don't know if you watch
Sent
Rick.
Zach that $5.
You're the man, Rick.
Give me 1 second. Pull up Twitch. I got
Oh yeah, I guess you were streaming, right?
Uh huh.
So how do VODs work
It's
for
super
that? Do
easy.
you save them, or?
So there's a VOD, right? Then you make a highlight. The highlight
Mhm.
lasts forever, which is the best DM notes you ever take because it's the fucking session, so it's awesome.
Sure, but since it's your channel, it's not like I can do that. So do you?
You can
Session?
watch the videos. I can send you the videos, and then I actually upload them to YouTube too.
Okay.
Just so I have two
So I guess
sources.
I guess that's what I'm asking. You're gonna upload the full thing.
I'll send it to
If
you.
you'll send me a link to where
Yeah.
that is, that'd be good.
Well,
Does that mean I'm agreeing to commercialize my likeness to you?
No.
uh,
For all of
I
no
pro-
offense, I assume sub 20 subscribers.
Whoa. If I ever hit 20, I'd be fucking killing it, dude. On my record's like 4. It's like Brian, Dave, and Rick all at the same time.
Yeah. I think it's just good for me anyway.
I'm
I
making
would
big
like to
bucks
have
off
it
your name. I'm making
see
big
whether
bucks.
or not I suck at this because I don't get to watch myself back. I don't stream, so
And
I would like to be able to.
you'll actually hear what I was hearing while you were talking, and it wasn't that bad.
Right, that too. But yeah, so I am an old man that works very
You did a good job.
bed in 8 minutes. So
Have a good night.
the rest of my evening. But yes, that was a lot of fun, guys. I enjoyed it.
Next week.
Next session we'll have a little direct meat to it. But yeah, I wasn't sure if this twist was going to happen in the middle or not. But you guys chatty. I actually really liked that you called them on some of their nonsense that you really interacted. I would rather not take the me bait.
Right?
So
Freaking. Ugh.
I got to cast a spell. I'm happy.
yeah, you did.
I was gonna ask. For wild shapes, do you want me to just like look up the stat block? Because I just want to be like a wolf and a spider wolf. That's only two I can think of right now.
I believe I can, or maybe you can even do it.
Just assign them to myself. I mean, I could. I could always just look up the
Yes.
stat block and then just. Then I could roll the dice too on the character sheet, which would be kind of cool.
So that's the thing. So if you assign yourself stat blocks that reflect what you want, you can
Mhm.
have the token for that be what you want. And
That's
then all you have
true.
to do is click it.
That's true.
So
I could do that. We'll see. I'll mess around with it. I'll do it in my other games
Yeah.
to see if I can manipulate the way I want, and then
sure.
I'll just.
And
have it
remember,
ready.
because technically you created this game, like as long as you don't peek, you can launch as DM and do that for you.
I was gonna say I launched this DM like because I'm so used to hitting that button. I have to like fix
Mhm.
myself so often. But you always have it on the title screen, so
Right.
which is nice.
Uh,
But yeah,
it's good to be DMing again.
hell yeah.
Actually,
You did a good
I
job with the
enjoy it.
descriptions and the voices and stuff. It was good.
I try.
Yeah, no,
When
definitely
I'm
set
not
an atmosphere.
cutting out.
And I think and I think it's best that and I learned the same thing. It's nice to have a couple different DMs because then you get a couple different perspectives and
Of
that's
course.
it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I enjoy both watching and like be it Dimension 20 and I enjoy playing under DMs too because it's a good chance to vary your skill set.
Yeah. Because I know Dave and Frank have never had nothing but me, so it's nice to get a different
Yeah.
change of pace.
I guess I can
Yeah.
label these pictures for you guys. There we go. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, I'll be online
Well,
for a while.
y'all-
I'm just making a bacon sandwich, and then I'm gonna upgrade my character if you guys are gonna be online for a while.
Yeah, for most sessions, I would stick around today longer
Yeah. And
than I
we went
intended to.
we went a little over, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I get anything special at level 2. I think it's level 3 is when I
I think you get
second.
expertise or something,
Yeah,
or
or
something,
yeah.
or like something cool.
It depends on the class, but like he won't pick a subclass at 2. He'll pick it at 3. But I
Yeah.
believe both Druid and Wizard pick it 2.
Hey, everybody else in
And
the party, are
cleric,
you excited
actually.
to pick your subclass? Loser,
Yeah.
broke.
Soon. Don't worry.
Some of us did that at level 1.
Damn
Oh,
you,
do you pick
cleric.
it 1 for cleric?
He does.
Because you pick your
Yeah.
domain?
He does.
Yeah.
So do warlocks. They do it level 1
Although
too.
they're changing it in 5.5.
Are they?
I don't
believe.
like anything in 5.5.
I think anything
that
that's
I've
different
seen.
is hard to like, but I'm sure over time it'll get better.
Well, it's not just
Depends
that.
on the class.
I don't like that. I don't know if you guys saw. I'll have this be my last thing before I dip. But the new stuff from both Wizards and Hasbro saying like, we don't like that it's so hard to monetize the way it currently is, and we're thinking of moving to like a subscription-based model
Mhm.
by book.
Yeah, right.
And so like, fuck that.
Leave it to Hasbro.